behind it all. Teeth clenched tight with silver braces. Rehearse my shame, rehearse my faces. You say I'm fine, I'm not alone. The world outside proves me wrong. No sideways looks my swan song. I talk like I'm above the mess. Sleepwalk through my emptiness. Every promise that I can't feels borrowed, bent and delicate. Mirror, mirror, break your spell. You don't even know me well. Your cruelty is honesty, and I'm addicted to what I see. Mirror, mirror, bleed me clean. Show me what I've never seen. A devil tired of damnation. Angels born with salvation. I wear my sorrow like a joke. Drink it slow so I don't choke. Everybody looks annoyed, but ain't nobody want this void. Mirror, mirror, bleed me dry. Mirror, mirror, let me cry. Say I'm wrong, say I'm weak. I pray the Lord my soul will seek. If I should die before tonight, pyre, pyre, burning bright. I asked for help, I got the screen. Static feeling so obscene. Mirror, mirror, who's watching who? Mirror, mirror on the wall, I never learned to stand that tall. If this is me, then let me crawl. Just don't say I had it all. Mirror, 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 mirror on the wall. Mirror, 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 mirror on the
And good morning, best chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode of Delicious Malicious Morning Nonsense Chat. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Hello to you, everyone. We had a wonderful Monday. Hope the Tuesday isn't so bad. Hello to you. Welcome, 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 everyone. Let's see here, chat. Gunblade Knight says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello to you. Demigod says, good morning, Shivel and Best Chat. Remember to stay hydrated and stand against the evil. Absolutely, absolutely. Lamar says, good morning to everyone. Don't forget to get your workouts in today. Absolutely, absolutely essential. It's the Caricature. What? Carlos Batista says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, LD and Best Chat. How did you see Hassan go to Cuba? I heard about that. I also heard that all of his fans like, wait, why are you staying in 5-star hotels over there, Hassan? And then Hassan's like, oh yeah, well they won't let me stay. Well, the evil U.S. government won't let me stay in places I'd like to stay. So, well, we got to stay in these 5-star hotels. I read that part. They went with food to give to the starving and ate all the food they brought with them, and then had a concert that turned off power and got people killed. Yeah, it turned they can't have a concert. It's not America. They don't actually have a functioning society over there. They're commies. But how did it get people killed? What happened? Was it like banned music or something? What happened? I guess, or did the power short circuit, or I guess what the power turn off? Did it turn off like the power of at like a hospital or something? Like how did that happen? That part I didn't hear about. Inspector M says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Hello to Inspector M. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Numbers 1516 is Happy Tomboy Tuesday, everyone. Hello to numbers 1516. Leslie Shadowing next says, good morning, all. Starfleet Academy is Colbert dead, meaning we have the cancellation announcement, but there's still more coming. Still some good news. Yeah, it's like, what was it? They have one, they're going to get another season. That's it. So they made it farther than the Acolyte, which got canceled, and the Willow, which got canceled after one season each. But I think in this case, they kind of ordered 2 seasons from the get-go. However, unfortunately for them, it's just not going to work out too much. It didn't work out too well. I was surprised to see that too. I was surprised because usually they have like infinite money over there or whatever, and they don't really care if people say that it's woke or the fans don't like it or whatever. They don't care. They just get like 7 seasons for some reason. Like people didn't really like Star Trek Discovery, and that got 4 billion seasons somehow. People didn't really, there's a lot of modern day Star Trek people that the old fans did not like, and still got this truckload of seasons for some reason. So Starfleet Academy getting cut off at 2 seasons was kind of surprising. And so I guess they really are running out of money over there. Kane Catering says, good morning, Lieutenant, and all. Hello to Kane Catering. Good morning, good morning. Maybe it is all to do with like, I don't know, like just ESG getting cut off, US aid getting cut off, and then Epstein getting gouged, and then a lot of the markets being shifted and everything. It's in like a lot of these hedge funds losing solvency, and it's just because a lot of them are like the big ones, the big bad ones, kind of they're kind of in danger now. So having learned all that, and then now we get to see that, why they're cutting off Star Trek season, Star Trek Academy season, or whatever. They're cutting it off early. That's the point. And then they're kind of like there are fewer and fewer overtly woke shows, and it's like people have been saying that we're probably gonna get a few more things that are kind of overtly woke because they were put into production a few years ago when the money was high. Before USAID was cut off, before all that stuff. So they got their funding and they're able to complete their projects. But I think that's kind of why we've been seeing fewer and fewer, because now people don't really want to do that. That the wokies have fallen from popularity quite hard. Even the New York Times was kind of admitting it. Like they're going, all right, we're losing control of the country. Let's see. There we go. Let's see here. Let me find it. Where is it? Let me see. Why wokeness will fail from 2021. Here we go. This is from January. We'll look at this one. This is from January. Hey, the hell? I'm signed in. Okay, come on, New York Times. Don't give me this guff. Don't give me this guff. Hold on. All right. We'll get this. I guess we'll hand it over in a second here. Get your coffee, Lieber Wolf. Hello to you, Lieber Wolf. Connor says, morning, LD and hail chat. Hello to you. Let's see. 1 second here. We'll do this again. Let's see. All right, chat. Let's see. Man, I'm trying to get this thing to work. I thought I signed up for the New York Times. It's not working for some reason. But there are articles in the New York Times that that kind of dictate, like, people like new ones even are like, yeah, wokeness is losing grip on the United States, and it's falling from popularity. Let's see. It's just it's so even if the New York Times is admitting this stuff, you know it's bad for them. You know it's bad. So I thought it'd be kind of funny to just go in here and check out one of the old like you could say cornerstones, one of the milestones of the woke era of movies, which was Birds of Prey. And man, it was woke. It was a really woke movie, man. It was really big, but it came out during that time where activism was big, activism in movies was big. And during that time when they had to make a statement with all this stuff, so that's why the Birds of Prey was this blatantly called the emancipation of one Harley Quinn or something. It's like, wow, that's pretty overt. It's like, maybe like imagine an incel that made a movie and like the emancipation of men over roasties or something like that. That's how overt it is. Like, man, they would never understand how privileged they are to just make a movie in using a big IP like DC, Harley Quinn, everything, and this spewing out the feminist agenda. That's pretty privileged. That's pretty privileged. Like, where is the GOP? Where's the right winger who's taken over a big IP and just blatantly said that blatantly stated some, I don't know, Batman and the abortion is murder. Where's that project at? I don't see that anywhere. Where is that at? Let's see. Good morning to you, Connor. Good morning, LD and Hail Chat. Hello to you. Connor, catch us. Good morning, Live Best Chat. Another reason why manga is superior. I discovered a manga about Marie Antoinette, but she is essentially an ultimate muscle character. That sounds awesome. I just toss that in there. It's just an ultimate muscle character. That's pretty funny. And see, chat. Mr. Vet says, good morning, LD. I had a eureka moment with Crimson Desert this morning. It's not a narrative-driven game like Witcher 3. It's an action sandbox in Valheim, like Valheim. Yeah, it's like, I think I heard about it. What I heard about it is it's minimal story. It's all focused on gameplay with minimal story that lets you kind of do what you'd like, which also has a place. I mean, there's a game I used to like to play, which is what's it called? Mountain Blade Warband, and things like that. And I had a few. They made a few of those, but yeah, it's just a sandbox. There's no real story going on there. There's no real story, like this driving narrative. It's like it kind of starts you off with one, like in the later editions, kind of starts you off with one, but there's no real driving narrative there's no like a big drama. You kind of just do what you would like to do, and it's more of a sandbox. And to the Wolf says the power needed to run the hospital was cut in favor of the hotel. Wow. Piker was resulting in lives lost. So they cut the power to the hospital so that Hassan Piker, and his fans are going to lap it up too. Like, they're making big excuses as to why this big fat American, this big bolsterous American has to go to a hotel, and why he had to get a 5-star hotel and had to prioritize power for him, resulting in the deaths of several people because they had to switch over. That's just like a typical Hassan story, isn't it? Of course, Hassan's visit caused people to die. Of course it did. And that they brought a bunch of food to give to the homeless and then ate it. They ate it themselves. Of course they did. Of course they did. Wasn't resulting in lives lost. Hello to you. Abragioni says, good morning, good nonsense, LD, and best check. Good morning to you, Abragioni. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Says, I'm not surprised it's called, but there was really no reason to announce it now. So hopefully that's trying to give a signal there will be change. Hopefully. Let's see, chat. Let's see. Carlos Batista, good morning. Hello to you, Carlos Batista. The power outage affected hospitals. There were people mid-surgery. Wow, mid-surgery, and people with ventilators that died. Well, that sucks. And Hassan, if Hassan had never gone to Cuba, more people would still be alive. He really is Akame, isn't he? Hey, man. And his fans are going to probably eat that up. Like, okay, well, they're going to, I can't wait to see his fans try to jump through hoops to justify that. It's okay. I mean, what he's going to have to do? Starve? Is Hassan supposed to be without power? I mean, come on. Let's see. I like Enterprise and Voyager, but not JJ Films or anything after. So yeah, Voyager's okay sometimes. It's not the best. It's like one of the worst old Star Trek shows, but it's okay. I like some parts of it. They kind of make a Janeway like a Mary Sue at the end there, because like somehow she's able to lead her ship through all of this, like through all of these years. Also, without much incident, because Voyager is well known for the reset button. to the point where they actually ran into people who actually had to suffer consequences. So like no matter how better the Voyager gets, no matter how better it gets at each episode, it's back to normal the next episode. So what was it? So they run to Ransom or whatever, right? Where that guy he was also stranded there, but with a much smaller ship, and they actually had to suffer. So they actually suffered through it all, and they had to start killing aliens in order to get their ship going, in order to either fuel their warp drive with alien life. That's kind of what happened. And so and then they got in trouble with But the thing is, the Voyager crew, of course, being like the privileged crew that got a big, like, state-of-the-art ship, they have showers, they have meals, basically just kind of like on a regular ship, as if they just kind of left Utopia Planitia, and everything is normal. Like if they didn't have if they weren't stranded on another part of the galaxy and stuff, on board everything seems normal. Like everyone has clean clothes, there's lights, there's comforts there, everything works just fine. And they had the audacity to judge Ransom or whatever his name is for kind of trying to keep his crew alive. And I think they even pointed out, like, man, you guys have it lucky. You guys have showers and food and lights and everything's great. They have lots of room. Everyone has their own quarters. And so they got to the Year of Hell, which was supposed to be like a reset, because Year of Hell was supposed to be an entire season, but I don't know what happened. Like they just said, no, I don't want to do that. So the entire season was kind of concluded in like 2 episodes or something like that. And the Year of Hell wasn't only just condensed down to a few episodes, but also it was itself reset. That timeline of Year of Hell was cut. It never happened. It was reset. But man, the Year of Hell was pretty awesome. I have to say, the Year of Hell, pretty cool, because that's kind of what the show was supposed to be. It's supposed to be like this nonstop struggle and stuff where we're losing people, and the ship is breaking down. They're running out of resources. That's what it's supposed to be. And the writers knew this as well, because they kind of kept resetting Voyager a few times. All right, they kind of kept resetting it, like the Maquis and the regular crew, super normal. They got along well. So they had to add in the Cardassian spy lady to add more tension, and then later on they had like the Void, which was Voyager gets lost in this void. That's also in. So not only are they lost from the Alpha Quadrant, they're also lost in this random void for a while. They got out of that because they didn't want to keep it there, but because there's no resources in the void. So. They knew what happened, I guess. Like, oh no, the Maquis, every single piece of tension was eventually evaporated. So there's supposed to be some tension between the Maquis crew and the Federation crew, because they had to like mingle and work together. But that tension evaporated. It went away lickety split. To the point where the crew is even making fan fiction of the Maquis like rebellion uprising, which of course never happened. It would never happen. And then it is one thing after another. Year of Hell would have been awesome. Like if the whole show was like Year of Hell, that would have been cool, because there would have been consequences. There would have been lasting damage. There wouldn't be as many reset buttons. That would have been pretty interesting. But of course, not only did that only condensed like 2 episodes or so, they reset that too. So basically, in timeline wise, the Year of Hell never happened. I've actually haven't seen the JJ films, so I'm not really sure about those. Enterprise, I kind of liked a little bit. They had it was kind of fun, but it felt too different from the rest of Star Trek. And Wolf says same with video games, more slop before it gets better. Yeah. Philip Chris says, Birds of Prey, what do you mean? Why are eagles, falcons, and hawks a nightmare? Oh man, just if only it was those birds. If only. All right, that's a good evening, Shovel and BC chat. Hello to you, Evan R. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good book column, good book column, book column. Hello to you, book column. Good morning to you. Good morning to you as well. Let's see here, chat. Let's see here. Ignorance says, let Dev Hamada want to Dev Walter Hamada want to build the DCU around Margot Robbie. I guess they wanted to do that. I think that was kind of a plan at one point. We're going to build a DCU around Margot Robbie for some reason. Let's see here. Voyager, guy who has this Voyager at its worst is better than anything Kurtzman Shrek can get to. Yeah, I think so. So even Voyager in its weirdness was, I think, a little bit better than Kurtzman. Because I watched Picard. I really want to like Picard. I really tried to like Picard. I really did. It just wasn't working. I just couldn't do it. Let's see. 1 second here, chat. Get rid of this. Okay, so I did subscribe to New York Times. Apparently, it was just wow. Even if you subscribe to it, it just pelts you with ads. It just pelts you with ads. Still, that's what it was. Digzum Legum says, "Hail Litken, hail best chat." Let's you Digzum Legum. Good morning. Car Hazard says they really should have let the guy who did Picard season 3 take over. To be honest, I heard season 3 was good. I couldn't make it that far. Arc 5 says it went away, but at the same time they started fucking, so like 2 weeks tops. Yeah, 2 weeks. Except Debris is fantastic. I love it. Except Debris. Like, if you want to see some really good like Star Trek reviews, Except Debris is fantastic. He does really good Star Trek reviews. I highly recommend. He's not on YouTube or anything because YouTube kicked him off like a long time ago. So he has his own site called, I think is this called Except Debris. But he does really good stuff. Really good stuff. Chuck's take on Janeway is hilarious. Yeah, because his description, his characterization of Janeway is that she's a psychopath, and there's a pretty good argument, like especially when you get down to the episodes where she takes everyone into danger to go to the coffee nebula or whatever. Let's see, Greggy Dice is good one, legible in best chat. I'm watching Birds of Prey in theaters after Sonic the Hedgehog. It's pretty bad. I need to see your EFAP of it. It's on Twitch. I think I have to make the second half of it public though. Let's see. If we're lucky, Hassan will go to jail for breaking American law about Cuba hotels. Okay, what's the law about that then? Because I heard about that where he broke some law where we had to stay in hotels. I do know that America kind of has you like stay in like certain places or whatever, but he mentioned that and he said, "Oh, I have to stay in these 5-star hotels." Let's see. Let's see. 1 second here. All right. Let me see. Oh, we got a guest in the back room chat. Let's see who this could possibly be. Let's see this.
Don't talk to me. I know you're a pervert under there.
Yeah.
Oh, Stu, the Stew Crew.
Morning.
Good morning.
Are we winning today, friends?
I think so. It's Hassan might go to jail, hopefully, because he apparently there's a big thing in Cuba because I heard one that he took a bunch of food over there to feed to the poor, and then they ate it all.
The poor.
And then second of all, he stayed in 5-star hotels because he had to, and apparently because it's a communist country, so they have like it's all shit over there, so they had to cut power from the hospitals to power his hotel and his concert and everything, and people died.
Is that real?
Apparently, that's what I've been hearing from the chat.
That's funny.
So after all of that, he might have broken some American laws, and he might be in trouble. But the thing is, I don't think so, unfortunately, because he's a streamer. And if I know anything, is that streamers rarely ever go to jail. They can, unless you're like in a foreign country, like streamers in America the American streamers don't really go to jail. So I don't know. Like it takes a lot for an American streamer to go to jail, as far as I've seen some streamers do some really heinous crap and just post it online, and they're just fine. They're a-okay. They don't get arrested.
Rules are different for the wealthy, no matter what kind of annoying ass wealthy they are. You know, like people just don't suffer consequences if they got money or influence, or if they're just more useful than you.
Exactly. It's just even if it's just Hassan who does nothing and is a little retard, and all he does is just sit around and on Twitch all day.
Well, that's the thing. He's a great propaganda tool. He's a great tool to divide like the American people. So that way we're at each other's throats instead of pointing towards that funny group of people that are actually causing most of our problems, you know?
But it doesn't seem to be working, Stu. Because here's I found this New York Times article written in January that's titled "Hollywood's woke era is over. Now it's turning culture war into camp." Turning the culture war into camp. So they can't take it. Like we're so past this era of like all these serious activists that now, as far as you've seen, like we're making more jokes. Like there's more things coming out of Hollywood where woke is a joke, right?
Yeah.
So like they're making jokes about it. It's quips and stuff like that. Like the quips is not just like, I'm a Trump, am I right? It's like making fun of pronouns. Like we have like the recent Scary Movie making fun of pronouns and everything. How crazy it is! Like you're about to kill me, but you better get my pronouns right.
Yeah, they're about to kill them.
Yeah, I'm a they them. Excuse me. And it's on a subway too. I want to note that it's on a subway, which is where a lot of this stuff is going down. Where the what's his name, something Penny, that one guy that kind of strangled the bum that was kind of causing an issue, and next thing they killed him in a chokehold. Like all these trains, and because you're kind of stuck in there, right?
Yeah,
kind of stuck in there. So a lot of issues going to pop up there with in these subway trains and all this crap. So
socioeconomic factors, of course.
Yeah, and so it's on there too. So there's a lot of things in the trailer where woke is a joke, and I've been seeing more and more of that where Hollywood is making TV shows and movies where woke is a joke. It's like they have the woke friend, and it kind of to the point where it kind of reminds me of, again, Hermione in the later Harry Potter books. I'm listening to those now. Just started Order of the Phoenix, and I just got reminded that Hermione's her little organization that nobody wants to join for the betterment of house elves or whatever is called Spew. She's like, no, it's not called Spew. It's called the Society of something elves and welfare or something like that. And but it's called Spew. So like her activism is a joke, at least for now. And it definitely was in Goblet of Fire, and so far it's been a joke in Order of the Phoenix. But Hermione is a little more endearing because everyone kind of treats it as a joke, and so you can kind of she's more sympathetic because it's seen as a joke. And then Hermione has an attitude of like, I want to defend everybody so that no one feels bad. So it's almost kind of adorable how she's like at this stage where it's like, I got to defend everyone. Like she's very girly in that sense. Like she got to defend everybody. She wants to defend everyone's feelings, and so she does it. So it's not like I hate men. It's more like if someone is getting insulted, she wants to go defend them. So that's house elves, but also includes Harry and Ron and pretty much anyone else that they like Hagrid, and even like disgusting little animals and everything. If Draco Malfoy hates the disgusting animal, she has to go and defend the disgusting animal.
You could just say Neville Longbottom. It's fine.
Man, there's some, I don't know. I think I just have a curse or whatever, but I have to make a story every day. Like I just have to. So one idea as I came across my mind, right, was what if Neville Longbottom had a girlfriend, but like not someone like him, but I mean like what if he had a girlfriend who was like a pure-blooded Slytherin girl who was like basically like everything you think a Slytherin girl would be, this ambitious, the pure-blooded and kind of mean, maybe friends with Draco Malfoy, all that stuff like that, but she loves him. And not only does she love him, she thinks he's a catch. Like she will defend him to she's like ride or die for Neville Longbottom. And also she's rich. So in like one continuity, I thought like what if like he did go to the Quidditch World Cup because he couldn't, because his grandma was like, no, you don't go to Quidditch World Cup. Let's see. But I thought that'd be pretty funny. Like oh, Longbottom's what's going on? And it's even I was reminded about that storyline again. I made while I was listening to Goblet of Fire. The storyline came up again in my mind because I was watching Akame Got Killed. I was covering Ruby, the Ice Queen Dom, and this popped up. Hold on, let's see if we can get over here. Where is it? This pop. There's a scene where they go into basically the storyline is we're going to go into Lisa's dreams, and in her dreams she's basically a dictator.
Hot.
And so no, it gets better, Stu. So in the dreams she's the Ruby and Yang and Blake are in there. But thing is, Blake and Weiss had a friction going on because the Faunus are the White Fang Faunus are terrorists that have been plaguing her family for years. And so one of the episodes ends with Weiss confronting Blake, and it ends with this line: "In my world, there are no faunus." Like, oh, based.
Holy fuck.
My world, there are no faunus.
And I like how she has sunglasses. Is that part of the show, or did you add that?
That's part of the show. They could have made like look like this South American dictator style.
Oh my god, they made her cool as fuck.
I know. I was in, like, up until then it was kind of a rehashing, but a little bit of more of improvement of the original story of Ruby.
Mhm.
And then we get into this nightmare. Like, okay, nightmare world, interesting, very Ruby. I'm not really that invested, but then we got here, and I'm awake now.
At first I was sleeping, and now I am woke.
I am woke now. I was like, whoa, this is awesome. She's the bad guy though? I don't think so.
That doesn't sound right. I think that's a mistake.
I think she's a good guy.
It's like, clearly, y'all are out of pocket.
So I was like, man, this is awesome. But anyway, so I think here people kind of were mentioning in the chat the anime Akame got killed for some reason.
Mhm.
Well, I know the reason now, but I didn't know the reason then. I know the reason now. So check this out, Stu. The reason why Akame got killed was brought up. Let me see if I can find this. It might take a little bit here. The reason why Akame got killed was brought up was because it seems as if she's a blatant copy of Esdeath, from the character Esdeath from Akame got killed. And check this out. Let's see.
In my world,
Look.
there are no muggles.
See?
Oh, wow.
Like almost 1-for-1, right?
Yeah, that's the same character.
And not only that, like Weiss is like she's like the ice queen, right? She's like ice queendom, everything. You know, she's her powers are frosts and snow. This character's power is also to freeze people.
Mm.
And but I think you like this character, Stu. She's also a dom.
She's also a dom. Yes, of course.
Because when she enters play and Akame got killed, she comes back from slaughtering 400,000 people by burying them alive, and then she goes, and the king's like, oh, well done, conquering the northern tribes. What kind of reward do you want? She's like, well, I'll give the money you're going to give me to the men fighting on the front lines, because she actually does care about her subordinates.
Mhm.
And then she goes, I just want romance. I was really strong inkling to get a man. That's her main thing.
Nice.
And so she actually gives the king and the evil minister a list of criteria for men, for the men she wants.
Okay.
And one of them is like, okay, I want them to be, born on the frontier like I was. I want them to like be strong and be able to maybe wield what they call imperial arms, like legendary weapons in their world. But the fourth one is like, I want him to be younger so I can dominate him. That's literally one of the criteria. And number 5 is like, I want him to have an innocent smile. So this is a rundown of our main character. So the main character of the show fits her criteria completely. And the thing is, even though she's like a sadistic psychopath, because even her own subordinates like, hey, what do you like to do for fun, when you're on your off time? Like, oh, well, torture, find new methods of torture, kill people. That's kind of what she does in her off hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first thing she does upon seeing the main character like do well in the tournament is walk up to him and put a dog collar on him and chain and drag him to her room. No questions asked.
Damn, dude. She's single? Clearly.
Not anymore. And then that night, she's like, despite being this ruthless general, she takes a shower and then she's like, okay, well, let's sleep together now. And she comes down in this shirt and everything, and he's like, okay, you're in love with me, right? And she's like, yeah. And he goes like, how about we join the revolution together? And she's like, I'm a general in the empire. I'm not gonna do that.
Well, why not?
But she goes like, but she's like really accommodating. So like she'll be like, do you have a family? I'll take care of them too. Like, and then she goes, oh, don't worry about me being faithful. I won't even look at another man. I will, you'll be mine alone, and I'll be yours alone. So she's also very faithful in what she wants, like, in her criteria and everything. So she just wants him. Even when she finds out that he's an assassin working for the revolution, she's like, oh, well, I really don't want him to die, but I care about my subordinates more. So I need you to, so go ahead and kill him if you have to. But then in her mind, she's like, if they managed to kill you, then you weren't really worth it anyway. So
damn. Okay. Maybe I got to watch Akame got killed. This girl is awesome.
Agami got killed. I was like, oh, this is all right, until Esdeath comes in. And like, okay, I'm awake now. When she makes an appearance, the show just sparks into life. It's pretty good. Let's see here, chat. Let's see here. Wolfsbane the Tincture is blue hair. Yeah, basically she's like I would say a more ruthless Azula.
Wow.
She's more ruthless, like way more.
So like basically your ideal woman, right? Like
exactly.
Got it.
But she's a general. When she gets introduced, they say, oh yeah, she's fighting the guys in fighting the northern tribe. And their leader is this guy who's like a spear wielder who's never been defeated. And the first thing you see when we pop back over with her, that the spear guy has not only been defeated, he's been so mentally broken. He's just on a leash, naked, licking her feet. Like, and then she kicks him in the face to kill him or something.
Damn.
And so she has like this, it's a weird balancing of like sadistic evil general and but she's kind-hearted too in some way. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, she will just, because she's basically Shishio in terms of her perspective. If you're strong, you live. If you're weak, you die. So she does care about her subordinates, though. That's kind of the main thing. So when she like to eat some ice cream, like she got a little bit of ice cream or a treat, and she goes, "Oh, this is pretty good. I should treat my men to this when the job is over. I'll treat everybody." So she is caring and nurturing when it comes to her men, but ruthless when it comes to enemies, which is interesting. And that's kind of how I think I played Shepard in Mass Effect. Like, but team leader and kind and nurturing to the my allies, but basically paragon to my allies, renegade to my enemies. Let's see. We'll spend the 10 years. His manga is better, Stu. The anime went through the typical I can write a better story than the author syndrome. People have been telling me that. Like, the manga is a little bit better. Let's see. So yeah, like the main character wants to like run away the night that she wants to sleep with him. It's like, don't try to escape, because if you do, they'll kill you. It's like nonchalant, flippant, like, just don't try to escape, or try to get out of here, because they'll just execute you. So you might as well stay here with me. Let's see.
A pretty good deal, if I gotta say. Like, damn, all right.
And she's like, okay, I'll be faithful, but you'll also be mine forever.
I'm fine with monogamy, bro. I've been fine with monogamy for like 20 fucking years. Like, I got nothing.
I'll be honest though. When I saw Esdeath and how she is, I was like, I think Stu might like this. I should tell Stu about this. I just like
girls who are really into their guys. I think that's just cool.
Yeah, it was pretty endearing, because she's like, I don't want you. She doesn't want him as like a slave. She wants him as a partner. And then she doesn't really know how that works. So she chains him up and drags him over to her team of like they call the Jaegers, the hunters, who are supposed to be fighting the assassins that the main character is part of. And then she goes, he's not returning my affections. Are any of you in a relationship? And one guy raised his hand, which basically is a psycho from Borderlands. Like, he looks exactly like a psycho from Borderlands. Mask, shirtless, but he's very bashful and shy. Like, well, yes, I have and he's from the incinerator crew. So like his job is to incinerate anyone, anything, including people who are alive. But he's like, oh, well, I've been happily married to my wife for 6 years. And she's like, okay, so she's good. Now you can help me. This guy does not want to return my affections. How do I get him to return my affections? And then he starts telling her that, oh yeah, my wife rejected me 2 times before she married me. You got to pick the right moment. And she's like, and she starts writing it down. So she's basically taking notes and everything, because she's never really had a relationship before. She's been just warring all over the world and killing hundreds of thousands of people, but she never really had like a boyfriend or anything before. So she really doesn't really know how this works. And she just her mind's like, oh, I just need to get some notes and everything to get this guy to fall in love with me. And so her next mission is, okay, we're gonna split. We're gonna go over here, and we're gonna split up, and we'll change teams. You know, during the day we'll have one partner, and during the night we'll have another partner. So the main character, you'll go with this guy in the morning, and then you'll be with me at night, so I can kill these beasts and impress you. And so she's a really interesting balance of like psychotic villain and endearing waifu. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And this conflict kind of reminded me of Azula, because Azula from Avatar is like ruthless, and then we get that Ember Island thing, right, or the island episode where she kind of wants to be normal but can't. Right? Yeah, she's been so invested in being like the princess for so long that she tries to like play volleyball, and like it's like war or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then she tries to like get with this guy, or just try to try to flirt or whatever, and she takes pointers from Ty Lee, and then he's like, you can probably kill someone with that suit because it's so sharp.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing. So she's kind of like that. That's exactly what she's like. Like, she's really good when it comes down to war and killing and torture and being sadistic, but not really good at interpersonal relationships. I mean, she's really she's so charismatic that she is like Shishio in that point where she'll go in there and she'll just convince people to work for her, not for the minister, not for the empire, but for her specifically. And she has like a bunch of people just devoted to her. This almost like they worship her like a god, but she's not really good at intimate connections. Mm-hmm. Basically like Azula. Like Azula took over the Dai Li. This sheer charisma, but she has no idea how to like flirt with a guy. It's kind of like, so she's like that. All right, that's kind of what the Esdes is kind of like. So it did remind me of quite a bit of the Azula character. Let's see. Then Wolfsbane, the 10 Cheers is also, if you do watch it, Stu, you will never want to kill a dog more than that damn dog that follows the police girl around. Yeah, so there's like a dog.
Is the dog a rapist or something? Like, what is this?
Well, the dog is an Imperial Arms thing, which is like basically a living weapon. And so, but it does. The dog does end up killing at least one main character so far, and it's like the most like a waifu, like literally. I watch this character, and it reminds me of your descriptions of Alex. Like, she's caring and nurturing, but also like basically the kindest person on the team, but also kind of like, as you've mentioned, like kind of a klutzy and stuff.
Mm-hmm. No, she's very dumb, and I absolutely, yeah. But that's I understand now. That's funny.
So I was like, so it's funny that Wolfbane said that because the first person that gets killed by this dog reminded me a lot of Alex.
That's funny.
And she's very endearing too. They think there's going to be another shoe that drops with the character because, oh yeah, her at face value, she's just kind of a ditzy, klutzy person, and it's not very, very nice because everyone else has been kind of mean to the main character in kind of like a bro kind of way. But no, she's just nice. She's just nice and caring, and kind of like listens to his concerns and like hugs him because he's sad that his friends were tortured to death. And then she's also she loves all the people around her, and she's just a klutz. Like, she can't do any chores because she's so klutzy, but she's really good at killing people. That's her main thing. Let's see. Ezeth kind of has simps. That's kind of what she has. She has a bunch of simps because she's so charismatic. So anyway, this one picture is what got that train going.
Just the base as fuck dictator,
and her design, everything. Because like why is everyone saying Akame got killed? And then I learned why. Whis is like we'll say a lesser version of Esdeath, because she does not. We'll say she weighs a lot less than Esdeath. I'll say considerably less. Let's see.
Hold on, no, Minnesota Fats. How is Stu been married to Alex for 20 years? And it's like, buddy, you get him in middle school. Wink.
Let's see. All right. So, by the way, I've been reading or been going over, what was it called? Order the Phoenix. I just got it. Order the Phoenix. And like, this is interesting because one of the ways that Voldemort is able to rise to power is because the media decided not to report on him and decided instead to demonize people who did say that Voldemort has returned.
Fascinating.
So yeah, the Daily Prophet refuses to acknowledge that Voldemort has returned. They don't like this idea, so instead they've been demonizing Dumbledore and they're trying to paint the narrative that Harry Potter is like a thrill, like a fame seeker who will say anything, right? Will say anything to get famous. You know, he loves being like they're trying to paint Harry Potter as this opportunist, this fame whore, things like that. And see, and that he'll make up stories and he's kind of insane, and to the point where they make him a joke. So like the wizarding world came to a point where they're like, oh, you got hurt, hope he doesn't have a scar or else you'll want us to worship you. So it became a meme. They basically turned Harry Potter into a meme that, oh, hope you don't have a scar because then you'll want us to, you'll say Voldemort's back or something like that. Let's see. Orange Man says, Stu, I got a group of newbies I'm teaching D&D to. Any advice?
Keep it simple. Do not attempt to give them anything difficult in terms of morality or complexity, or even in your own political system, like of your setting. Give them the classics. Start fighting goblins. Make goblins like deadly, or if you don't want to use goblins because you think they're cute, use kobolds. Anything evil. Make sure that they go in. They get to be like D&D is at its peak when you can ask really difficult questions and the party like comes together to an agreement. But the thing is that you got to remember is that you got to give them the opportunity to be like munchkin little bastards killing everything in the room. Like my best fight that I've ever done was a running fight where the party members rescued a sultan's harem and all of his children. They went in, they started like it was like, you're white, like you're one of the wives, right? Come with me, you know, that kind of thing. She's got 4 kids, great, like get them going. Meanwhile, they're being chased by a much stronger person. And that was like they had no chance of even really damaging this guy. The only thing they could do was slow him down. And like this guy was capable of leveling the fucking building. He just wasn't going to do it. Or at the very least, he's capable of like destroying entire rooms in this building. And meanwhile, they were like level 3. That was the best fight I've ever done, like narratively and like urgently. The other best fight I ever did was when they invaded the final room of this building where the bad guy was, and they just killed fucking everybody, and they did all these cheesy, goofy ass strategy, and like they used all their stupid ass abilities, and it wasn't fair at all. I had like no chance to slow them down. Even they just got to feel like a badass for like 10 minutes, you know, or more exactly. Like more like 4 hours. But you get the idea.
You want to allow your main characters to feel powerful and awesome, but not like just hand it to them. They have to earn it. I remember we played Pathfinder 2 and we got owned by that boar.
Right? Jesus
we ran
Christ,
away,
dude.
and then we're like, all right, no more playing around. This is over there, and we just overkilled that boar.
And then the best part was you guys completely fucking annihilated like the Stag Lord.
Yeah, we found the Stag Lord, and it was like SEAL Team 6. It's like, okay, go, dead. Oh, like in 6 seconds, almost everyone was dead.
No, that was so fucking crazy. I love that session. That was a fantastic one.
And to the point where, like, you know what? I think that campaign's done. You've earned it.
Yeah, no, I think you win. You win, Kingmaker.
This is like no more. We went in there thinking it's 5e, and then we got kicked in the nuts by Pathfinder 2. You're like, oh yeah, all right. Well, you know what? 2 could play that game. We're gonna slaughter everyone we come across.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that campaign that Sweeney talked about, where they go into Wonderland or whatever.
Oh yeah.
They go in there thinking, oh, it's going to be cool. We're going to drink with the Mad Hatter. We're going to have a party with the March Hare. Then everyone starts to try to kill them. And like, you know what? Screw this. No, we're just going to kill everyone. Like, well, you know what? There's like dialogue here. Like, no, kill him. Kill him.
We're going to shoot it. And then when we're done shooting it, we're going to kick it to death.
then light that on fire. It was like that. It's like, oh, this is gonna be fun. Pathfinder 2 should be pretty fun. I guess it's gonna be like 5e. No, not like 5e. 5e is 5e is for like casuals. Pathfinder 2 is for hardcore. Like you're here to play gamers.
Yeah, like they and it's funny too because in the update they even made it harder. They made dying just way more easy. It's so crazy.
It's there's like nightmare mode.
There's a lot I respect about Pathfinder 2 in the fact that it is actually a good game. I just don't like it. You know.
And see, Megathon $10 super chat that you much appreciate it. Let me see here. Oh my god! And see, real quick before I need to go to clear ice and snow from one of my storage sheds, but one of them. Pretty interesting, but ideal for Longbottom's girlfriend reminds me of Shikimori. Not just a cutie is also as a cute SOL and on the wholesome side. Mm-hmm. So that was my idea for like a Longbottom girlfriend. Was that she's like almost a villain, but she loves Longbottom. That's kind of like so Esdeath. You know, watching Akame kill and Esdeath coming in, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that Longbottom idea, that storyline I had for like Nibble Longbottom's girlfriend, because he is pure blooded. So he does fit the criteria for someone who is concerned with pure blood. He just so
he just doesn't give a shit. Yeah,
he just doesn't care because his parents. You know, once your parents are tortured into insanity by the wizards who promote pure blood, you probably don't really care about that anymore. You know.
Yeah,
it's pretty horrifying.
Kind of checked out of the idea.
Yeah, it's like I don't think so, bro. I don't think that pure blood thing is my kind of thing. But yeah, my idea was essentially. Now I've made this idea before I ever learned about Esdeath and all that stuff. So my idea was basically that, like, she would be kind of a villain, but devoted and like this. She not only would be in love with Neville, but like just think he's a catch. Like it's just like, no, he's mine. You guys can have him. To the point where I had the idea for like a storyline where she would actually fight off other Slytherins. You know, because they were like, oh, he's Gryffindor and he's Potter's friend, and it's like, well, he's mine now. He's mine. So you want to either stop wrestling with him or I'm going to fuck you. Because her main thing was going to be she's really good at dueling, and because I don't really want to write the Harry Potter crap where it's all about going to class. I want to write fight scenes. So she's going to be good at dueling. That's what I want to write about. I don't write the dueling stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's just one of the things I made. I have to I essentially make a new story every day or continue an old story every day. So it's just one of the things that kind of passed my mental desk, you could say.
I know what you mean.
It just popped in there.
I told you guys about the module I want to make it with the racist dragon character, right?
Oh yeah.
the character that's so racist that when he says a racist thing to you, you need to make a history check to even understand how he insulted you. And like some of the insults are so ancient and so obscure. Like if you succeed the history check, you learn that he actually came up with the slur and he was the first one to say it. Like. I just love that fucking idea. I think that's so funny. I've been watching a lot of Dagoth posting videos, and like Dagoth has inspired me. Like, how can I be as based as Dagoth?
It's Dagoth. Let's see. Will Spence and Cheers says, Rita Skeeter is a bitch. She is. I mean, horrifying. Like, so. Hermione's able to beat Rita Skeeter at the end of Goblet of Fire, but it's her articles and her stories that the Ministry of Magic is able to build off of to help discredit Harry Potter. So I'm like, this is interesting how this is developing, because man, this is how our world kind of works. Like the first thing to do is take over the media. And the thing is, what's interesting is that Voldemort doesn't even control the media. Like people are just so intent on making sure that everyone thinks everything is fine that they on their own will cover up for Voldemort. They on their own will say, no, he's not back. Harry Potter's crazy. Dumbledore is an idiot, and Voldemort is not back. And they kind of put a lot of effort into making sure that Harry Potter is out of the picture, is ruining him.
Yeah.
So interesting how that works. But this is allowed. Like, if they had said Voldemort's back and like, this is a problem, then they probably could have prevented the rise of the Dark Lord, because they probably like everyone would be looking for him, and they probably could have like snuffed it out in its the infancy of his rise. But no, they're like, no, what? Voldemort's not back. Actually, and Harry Potter's just lying. Let's see. Harry should have let Hermione dispose of her when she was a bug. Well, the thing is, by the time that they got her, like by the time they kind of discovered that she was a bug and stuff, it's too late. She wrote over all of her stories. Also, it's the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Let the players be noble murder hobos. Yeah. Give them a problem and let them figure it out. And that's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we did. Like, okay, we got this boar has this annihilated us. Like, horribly. So we're going to stop playing nice. All right, we're done playing nice. From that point on, it was game on.
I compared it to Zorro's I will never fucking lose again to Mihawk. Like,
it's just it's like it was basically that moment, because until then, it's fun being Diego. Hello there, I love killing giants. And then we got murdered by this boar that was supposed to be a quest for the barbarian lady, and she like, oh yeah, let me go take it on her own. And we're like, oh, maybe if she gets in trouble, maybe we'll come in to help, but she probably could take it on her own. It's just a boar. Immediately just obliterated. Just fun. Like, holy crap, this is like a boar from like Princess Mononoke.
Fucking demon boar that was just absolutely wrecking your shit. And meanwhile I'm sitting here like yep, Takoa, that's the third crit in the row, huh?
That's because when Stu is the bad guy, crit. It's just nonstop critical rolls.
No, the thing is that's so the opposite of my normal luck, because like the only time I think I really lost my cool on stream during Pokemon was during their 7th gym badge. I prepared like this really, really like intricate and really cool gym battle with like a custom like regional variant Jirachi Pokemon, and they were fighting, Watashi, their longtime friend / rival. And it was like this really great moment. I could not roll above a 4. That whole fucking fight, not one time did I roll like above. Maybe I rolled a 9 at one point, but they had an answer to that 9, like it was exactly. So bad. But when I'm playing against Takoa, dear God, you'd think I should buy a lotto ticket. It's like, wow, Takoa, that was 3 nat 20s in a row I hit you with, huh? I'd lie about it, but it's right there on the screen. Like,
I just can't say, you got to go with it. That's what it says. Let's see. There's two says, have you checked out Angel Sword TTRPG? No, I don't think so. Have you heard about that one, Stu? It's a Tyler says Neville's Riz is so powerful that he can make wizards not racist. Possibly. I mean, real life, the actor, like everyone started falling in love with the actor once he got handsome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wolfsbane, next to 30 cheers. I remember a situation where we split up the party. An NPC and I went to save the hostages, while the rest, which is 4 players, mind you, go to clear the tower. We annihilated the group, and I go back up the rest, only to find that everyone except one is either dead or dying to 2 null generals. I'll leave you alone for 5 minutes. It's kind of the thing from in The Incredibles, where like, I just saved the world. Can you just be in peace for 5 minutes? I just cleaned up here. I ended up blowing up the tower. Should have stayed in the party.
The funniest meme I ever received during a live stream was like one of my players was like giving like a some kind of like academic speech in the middle of a coliseum, and the way I described it like is like these giants started getting taken over with some bullshit, and the crowd starts slaughtering themselves and they start killing each other. And someone sent me that one. I'll drop it in stream memes. It's really funny. That guy that comes back with the pizza and the apartment's on fire. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Let's see. Well, it's been the 10 years. I thought you would have been a sphinx instead of a dragon. Let's see.
Okay.
1 second here. Phil Chris says LD wants to make a battle anime out of HP. You have no idea. Check this out. Look at this. I don't think I have any audio for this one, but look. I put together. See,
at this point, like you're just doing wizard knife fights. Just give him a gun.
No, where's the wizard there, Stu? It has to be wands.
Once there's a wizard that carries both a handgun and a wand at the same time, it's game over for the dark wizards.
That's my idea. That was my idea for this series. So he would have guns and then also a wand. That's exactly my idea. Because Harry Potter becomes an aura at the end of his series, and like, you know what, that'd be kind of cool to see his career as an aura, and like he'll have some tutelage from Mad-Eye Moody. So I'm pretty sure Mad-Eye Moody would carry a gun if they let him. Like, I don't think he'd be qualified to carry a gun in his state or in England. He lives in England, so he can't really have one. But he lived in America. I bet he would have one.
Totally would.
And see, what's your D&D playthrough? I don't think so. I don't think it's recorded unless you'd have it, Stu. I think Stu might have recorded it.
It should be on the loading too. Like, I'm pretty sure. I put Strixhaven on my replay channel, which is just completely unedited stuff that I have no effort into. But I put Kingmaker on loading too, I think. And I think it did get finished. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because we technically finished the campaign, even though we didn't really, but we did kind of.
We finished chapter 1, and we were like, we're done with Pathfinder 2.
Killing Stag Lord is a pretty good place to end it if you wanted to. Because then after that, it's just kind of like we rule a kingdom, which I don't know how fun that would be to watch.
I don't know. I just personally wasn't having fun, so I felt like it was a good place to end it. Like,
I think so too. Pretty good.
It was fun with you guys. It just I wasn't enjoying Pathfinder 2 at all.
Yeah, Pathfinder 2, because it was so crunchy. It's like as Puffin Forest called it, it's like a big dose of super black coffee.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's kind of an acquired taste. It's very heavy and bitter and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And see, let's see. Well, let's break this in. Cheers is all of my former DM's luck went to intensity rolls. Could roll well in fights, but something bad happens. Let's see how bad it will be. Oh, that's a nat 100. The planet blows up, or a bomb set off creates an anti-magic dome the size of a continent. That's a big dome.
What's it made out of? Perhaps a metallic and ferrous material. Might I suggest iron?
The Iron Dome. See, or a curtain, maybe instead of a curtain instead of a dome.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Yeah. So I just thought it was pretty funny. Oddly enough, apparently Snape was still helping out everybody in War of the Phoenix so far. I guess it's as Half-Blood Prince, when Voldemort takes more power, they goes, you know what? I'm going to become a double agent to take down Voldemort. But Snape is there. It's pretty funny seeing the Black House. The House of the Blacks.
Oh, okay. I was like, hold on, what? I was paying attention.
Because that's where the Order of the Phoenix is. It's in the house of Sirius Black's family. So at the House of the Blacks. And so
Sirius Black family.
And in Harry Potter, no one really likes the blacks. You know what I'm saying?
Is that right?
Yeah, everyone is really, not even Sirius likes the blacks.
Someone send me an AI edit of who's Sirius's brother? It's like Rudius or something.
Yeah, I think so.
I need that Nick Fuentes rant, but with one of the wizards from the wizarding world going, listen, all you got to do is imprison the lycanthropes. You subjugate the muggles and we would live in paradise.
All I gotta do is start distrusting the goblins. The goblins control the wizard media.
The goblins control the wizard. Have you seen Gringotts? They have all these special symbols hidden around.
Special symbols.
Meanwhile,
it's like a wizarding version Nick Fuentes saying, "It's the goblins, it's the goblins," and then he comes into contact with an American conspiracy guy who's like, "Nah, the goblins work for the Jews."
Meanwhile, the Muggles are like, "No, bro, we've known about this for a long time. This is a problem that's been going on for a while." And
they get into a fight. No, it's the goblins. No, it's the Jews. No, it's the goblins.
Meanwhile, at the Goblin Jew conference, they're all like, "Yes, they're fighting against each other
over us for some reason." Yeah, nobody likes the blacks.
Jesus Christ.
See, the world area part, not a lot of people like the blacks. So like,
Oh my God.
that house, the black house, has not been lived in for like 10 years. And there's a funny moment that's not in the movie where they upset the portraits. Like there's a portrait of Sirius Black's mom, and she's like, "Get out of here, mutants and muggles!" Like she has like this big, gigantic screed, like this anti-muggle, anti-mudblood screed.
Whoa.
Like where it's so loud that it hurts everyone's ears. It's like summons up ghosts and stuff. Where it's like she's so angry that there's like impure blooded people in her house.
Oh my God. Their family's so based. How do you deal with this, chat? The fatigue is real. Yeah.
And see.
It's serious about
It's serious about the blacks. And see, Wolfsbane then chooses a Sirius brother is named Regulus, and he becomes very important later. So I'm not spoiling shit.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, you'll like it. Actually, you finished Half-Blood Prince, or you're working on Half-Blood Prince?
That's the Half-Blood Prince. I'm pretty sure is next. This one is Order of the Phoenix, which has Umbridge in it. Is the Umbridge one?
Oh, bro, that's like unironically probably my favorite book.
That Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, that one's really good. Simply because like so much happens. There's like so much plot in that plot.
It's like the audio file is like 25 hours. I'm like, wow, this is a big boy. I thought the Goblet of Fire was big at 14 hours or something, but this one is like 10 extra hours over that.
A wizard Alex Jones. There it is. Yes, we need a wizard Alex Jones.
A globalist.
Excuse me.
Yeah, wizarding Nick Fuentes meets like the real Nick Fuentes. It's like, no, it's a goblins. No, it's the Jews. No, it's the goblins.
Unironically, would wizard Nick Fuentes and muggle Nick Fuentes get along? I gotta know. Like
they probably hate each other. It's a kind
of
it's kind of the whole thing of like you hate Andrew Tate because he's misogynist. I hate him because he's brown. We're not the same.
Meanwhile, wizard Nick Fuentes is like, "Shut up, muggle." Like,
yeah, shut up, you filthy mudblood. So that'd be pretty funny just to see that clash, like just the wizarding races versus the muggle races. And see, the lizard people are ruling the world, drinking the blood of baby. It's the goblins. The goblin, because I mean, the real Alex Jones talks about goblins. I mean, I think the wizarding Alex Jones would be like twice as bad.
Yeah, but like, you know, he's actually low key. Like Wizard Alex Jones is kind of Luna's family, like a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so. The wizarding Alex Jones.
It's the Nargles. They're in your thoughts and they're corrupting your mind. You need to exercise them with the supplement that I sell here at my website.
Let's see. Yeah, get shark cartilage.
Yeah, that shit. Like whatever the hell Alex Jones is peddling right now.
Patriot shark cartilage. Made in America. American sharks.
The sad thing is he's probably like actual Alex Jones is probably a healthier individual than most people in politics right now, because he regularly works out and does all that weird, like, you know, all this health stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't remember him being on the Epstein list.
He wasn't on the Epstein list. We know that. He sure wasn't. But he did get fined at $1 trillion or something for saying some things.
And people make jokes about like, oh man, what do we do about the national deficit? I know, Mr. Jones, it's up to where you're being sued for $4 trillion. By the way, thinking of Azula and stuff like that, I made this little comic with AI. And do you know what Fire Lord Sozin once said about air nomads? He said the air nomads, he would think two things. Part of him wanted peace and an alliance between nations. The other part of him wondered what their heads would look like on a stick.
I see you gave a boost to Azula in these images.
Yeah, she's older here. I assume she won. Look, in my world, she won. So she's Fire Lord. So this kind of her kind of impressing. My other one was her having captured Aang and saying, "Tell me, Avatar, do you like the Ember Island players?" See, back in '87, this is where they really fell into their own, both artistically and meritically. So people, most people don't really like this play. It's like most people really like this play that they've done about the conquest of Firelord Sozin over the air nomads, and it's really good. So good, in fact, that people don't really listen to don't really pay attention to the message, but they should, because it's not just about the pleasures of conquest and conformity. Basically,
meanwhile, Aang's like, just kill me. It's like, please just kill me.
Basically, I just make her Patrick Bateman, because this is a Patrick Bateman joke. Like you know what Ed Gein once said about women? Like, part of him said, "I want to treat them right, be nice to them, and everything." The other part says, "What would their head look like on a stick?" Which is not Ed Gein quote, by the way. It's that other guy that likes to have sex with necks. I forget what his name was. It's a Alex Halo. Alex Jones Halo says Jones was talking about Epstein before he was arrested.
Fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, that's something Alex Jones would talk about. I'm pretty sure
he would. Yeah. You find out like after the Epstein files were released that Alex Jones was more right than wrong.
Yeah. Sean hit us a joke like Alex Jones is right again. Put one in the jar.
Yep.
Let's see here. But that's how it goes. It's a Jigbo says Azula probably made all the powerful benders with Aang consensually, of course.
Damn, this bitch is crazy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like this it would end up like the Esdeath thing, where it's like, okay, Aang, I've chosen you. You're mine now. So that's good. Yeah, that's why like Esdeath really reminded me of Azula and stuff.
So I was slightly less sober the other day, and a thought came to my head. A thought that's difficult to convey because it's not okay to have an opinion on this. I have an opinion on something. It's not okay. You know how the fans are like Azula and Zuko, and they think that you know,
like the fans. It was the voice actors too.
Like, yeah, right. But like it was funny. We had this fucking conversation in the group chat actually, and that's what spawned this idea. It's like I personally do not think Azula is into Zuko in any way like that, because it wouldn't have come to her mind to think of him like that. You know what I mean? But if Zuko asked, I am certain that Azula would be like, yeah, maybe, like maybe more than maybe. You know what I mean?
If hypothetically speaking, if that were to take place, it'd be like, because she would see this as another conquest, like another way to humiliate Zuko. So
the thing is, if Zuko asked, Azula would see it as a way to keep the bloodline pure. Like that's yeah.
Would that be real? I don't think she was into blood purity, something like power. So she would probably be more into Aang on that basis. Like I think Azula would be more into like powerful benders, and she sees Zuko as pathetic. So even if she was in like a Targaryen style, like Targaryen minded, I don't think she would like Zuko. I'm pretty sure she would go for like someone else that's really powerful.
See, so you're thinking more on, okay, I like this. I do think there is a world that exists where these two trains of thought like could happen. It's just that my thoughts are in Azula's like tragic, like maybe not tragic, but her mental health issues and her daddy and mommy issues, because both she has both daddy and mommy issues, which is a dangerous
clash.
That is a huge problem. A girl with daddy issues can basically be fixed. A girl with mommy issues is a monster most of the time.
As we've seen.
And then a girl with both is probably going to fuck her brother.
Possibly, and maybe under the right scenario, maybe. But going back to the Esdeath baseline, her mentality was her mentality was like, you're going to change for me. All right. You're going to stop being a rebel. You're going to stop being against the Empire, and you're going to change for me. That's the end, and that's the ending of it all. Also, you're not strong enough, so I'm going to train you to be stronger, to be worthy. So she has that mentality too. It's like, if that were the case, it was like Azula was Targaryen minded and wanted to keep the bloodline pure or whatever, she would train Zuko to be better.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
No, I can see that totally.
The thing
is too, it depends on this, because remember, Azula's opinion changes of Zuko like her opinion of Zuko changes throughout the story too. She didn't think he was pathetic the entire time, just at the beginning. Near the end, like she thought she was better than him, but she had this weird obsession with him. So that's where I'm thinking like season 2, season 3 Zuko and Azula. That's what you might be thinking like season 1 Zuko. You know?
Yeah. She can't seem as pathetic. It's good. That's the main thing. Let's see. Anyway, Akame, thanks for the 36 months supports. Her thoughts hurt.
Apparently, we got a cheer that we missed. I don't know.
Let me see. Run here somewhere. Thanks for 10 cheers. Wolfsbane says Alex got sued for saying that the school shooting was a hoax from getting bad information. He was sued by the families, and the judge essentially bankrupted him despite him apologizing. Yeah, that's an insane amount of money they got sued for. It's like billions of dollars. Like who? That sounds unreasonable. Like billions of dollars from one guy. That sounds crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I should have done what he did. I don't know. Probably not. But how many? Like $4 billion? Like that's a lot of money. That's like, pretty crazy.
How do you expect that guy to even pay that? Like, especially someone
that's like an unreasonable amount of money. Like like the victims aren't going to get that money. How does he have that much money? He doesn't.
EK Train, what if Ursa took Azula and Zuko and left Ozai?
It probably would have ended up similar, but she would have been more disciplined, I guess, because as Ursa she was no stranger to disciplining Azula and stuff whenever she did something weird. But I think she kind of resented that because the resentment came from the fact that her mother clearly favored Zuko for Azula, so that's why she hated Zuko so much. That's kind of the source for her hatred for him.
Yeah,
and so like, how come you don't like me? I mean, I'm powerful and I'm awesome. Like you don't, I'm really good firebender. Like, well, Dad likes me. How come you don't like me? And that's kind of like the whole thing. Like she thinks I'm a monster.
And the thing is too, like I like how even the show counters that. It was like, no, I didn't think you were a monster. I thought you just were troubled, like you needed help, and like a spoiled princess, who was born to a a militaristic nation during a time of peak war is not going to end up well. Like mental health problems are very real, and everyone talks about it like very openly now, and it's appreciated. But like a mental health problem can be maintained very, very well in the correct environment.
Let's see. Wolfsbane chooses it wasn't meant for him to pay it off. It was meant to silence him. Yeah, like there's no way he could pay it off like billions of dollars. That's crazy. Like he's not like a major corporation or anything. I mean, that for like billions of dollars would be a lot even for a major corporation. That's a lot for even like if he was Netflix, that would still be a lot of money.
Hold on, I'm actually trying to think. Like, do you remember? I think it was Toyota. Which company crunched numbers to pay off lawsuits rather than fix their cars? It was Ford, the Ford Pinto back in the 70s. That company did a thing where they designed a car that if you hit it from the back, like if you rear-ended it, the car would explode.
Oh.
And they knew it was a problem, but it was going to be so expensive to fix the car at this stage of the game that they crunched the numbers and decided that it would be cheaper to pay off settlement lawsuits of wrongful death due to the design of your car than it would be to fix the design of the car.
The exact scenario shows up in Fight Club.
Yeah,
that was it. I think because I think that the writer Chuck Palahniuk was actually had that job. So like the idea was that if it's potentially cheaper to pay off lawsuits than it is to fix it, then there is no recall. But if it would be more expensive to fix lawsuits than it is to recall it, then they'll recall. Right. As I seen in Fight Club where he's going over this car that is burned. This is like it did explode, and like you talk about like the guy's fat. It's just burned to the chair and all that stuff.
Yeah, this would okay. So they were fined $127 million in 1972. So 1972, $138 million today. So let's see this is one of the most unethical business decisions of like American history. $138 million, which is what Ford was punitively charged, would be worth $1.1 billion today, which means Ford Pinto, who knowingly and purposely killed people to save $1, got fined less money than Alex Jones.
Yeah, which is insane if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So that billions of dollars for that, like, come on, that's what should he have to pay something or suffer some consequences? Maybe. I mean, he did some pretty crazy things, but like that level, that's insane. Like that would be a lot for. I mean, Ford allowed people to die, and it was not charged that much money.
How many?
It's either the Ford Pinto, an American company, trying to ape the success of European city cars by committee.
Yep. Ford Pinto killed at least 27 people, and many, many more. I'm trying to find like actual. Oh no! Excuse me. The Pinto caused 500 to 900 deaths.
Man, that's a lot of people that they knew were going to die.
Well, okay, that was sensationalized. All right, maybe I'm wrong. The closest number I'm seeing is closer to 27 deaths, 24 non-fatal burn injuries, which, you know, I think that's more people than Alex Jones killed.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Like Ford deserved to burn for this. And you know what, the part that'll make you the most angry is I also looked it up. So $132 million was their original fine. And then another judge came and reduced it to 1.3 million.
So 1.3 million for causing the deaths of, we'll say, hundreds of people.
Yeah.
With a defect they knew about versus whatever Alex Jones did, you know, which is like, you know, he did pretty crazy things, but billions of dollars. That's pretty insane.
Yep. According to this, $1.3 million is $10.15 million today. Again, that's not even approaching the number that Alex Jones is getting fined. Remember, $1 billion is $1 million. Sorry, $1 billion is 1,000. Fucking hell. $1 billion is $1 million 1,000 times.
If I doesn't pay like a lot too. That's a lot. I think it's multi-billion.
If I made $10,000 a week for every week of the year, it would take me 1,000 years to make $1 billion.
1.5 billion. He was the decision was $1.5 billion in defamation charges. Like, Matt, a lot of money.
That's an obscene amount of money. That is a ridiculous amount of money. There's no reason for that amount of money to be charged to somebody like that. That is a shut the fuck up kind of punishment, you know?
They wanted to silence him. They wanted him to lose because at that point they were allowed to seize his assets and everything. So they're kind of he's losing all of the studios and everything. So I know he's trying to make money with that video game, which he probably did a little bit, but it's like nothing. It's nothing compared to what he owes. But anyway, Stu, after all this time, I have watched the Birds of Prey movie. I EFAP'd it on my Twitch. And I had to separate it in two parts. It's just so much cringe.
Ooh, before we get into this, two things. I do have a dentist in 45 minutes, so I'll be needing to leave in 30. And two, we should do Digital Circus one time.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. Back to you. Go ahead.
Let's see. But yeah, so I had to do it in two parts because it was so much cringe. Like, it was like an almost 2-hour stream the first time around. And we only made it through like the first 40 minutes or something. So I had to come back to it. So it was awful. It was so everything you would expect for a feminist movie to have, it was in there. All the men are big man babies. They're all losers. The main characters look like weirded out crackheads. Like, I probably would not approach these people on the street. Like, they're all tattooed up and they look just blown out. But also, all the men are just sexually obsessed with them. Every man, like Harley Quinn, despite being this loony, crazy looking person who seemed like she kind of was dressed like an RPG character, everyone is sexually obsessed with her, and to the point where they're always like fighting off creepy, rapey men. and stuff. There's no good men in that movie. Rosie Perez, like she's like 50 years old. She joins the Birds of Prey to kick some ass too. It's like, oh, you go get him, Grandma, because it's not like a Halle Berry or something like that, you know, where she was in John Wick 3. And she looks like she could fight, and like she looked fit and thin, and she could fight, and she moved like she could fight. Rosie Perez is like, it looked like, you know, on someone's grandma like fighting off a thug or something like that. And her movements are just so clunky and so slow. It's like, okay, is this really unbelievable? This, even at their best, these stuntmen are doing 90% of the work, like making it look like her punches hurt and they land correctly, that they're actually doing something. So that's what this was about. Like, man, this is so cringe. It was so cringe all the way through. And worst of all, the movie is called Birds of Prey, but the Birds of Prey really only meet each other and become the Birds of Prey in the last 15 minutes of the film or so. Harley Quinn meets Black Canary, who's actually black now. And
no, are you serious?
Yeah, she's not only is she black, Stu, she is the sister of Juicy Smollett. The actress is the character is played by the sister of Juicy Smollett, who's both black and French. So they made Black Canary literally black because I guess her name is Black Canary, so she has to be black, right? So she like sings in a lounge or something, and then she meets Harley Quinn, and then from that encounter she gets promoted to driver, and then that's it. Harley Quinn does not meet Black Canary for like a long time after that. And neither of them meet Huntress the entire movie until the very, very end. So at the very, very end, they just meet, become the Birds of Prey, lickety split, and have to fight off all the bad guys and they kind of have an interaction like they've been together the entire movie. So it kind of feels like they were supposed to be together the entire movie, because you would think they would be together the entire movie because it's called Birds of freaking Prey, but no. They don't really meet until the end of the movie, and Black Canary just works with the bad guys most of the time. Huntress is called the crossbow killer because she just goes around killing bad guys with crossbow, and it's like, no, my name is Huntress. No, you're the crossbow killer. And so, man, this movie was not only woke, it was a mess. It was a mess just narratively. It's just awful. But Phil Mento, I've been made aware that Phil Mento has made a video on it called the Anatomy of Failure, the Imposter Deadpool Jack Sparrow syndrome. And yeah, they're trying to capture that, I think, with Harley Quinn. But here's the thing, though. We need more time for them to get together, to spend more time together, to make connections and stuff like that. However, a lot of that this is how you know it's a feminist movie. A lot of that replaced with food scenes. There's like a whole 15-minute gag about Harley Quinn being in love with an egg sandwich, and it's like when she's served the sandwich, it's like a romantic scene. Everything, like when we know when JD from Scrubs falls in love with another girl, that's kind of what happens. Like it slows, there's wind, there's lights and stuff like that. And but it's Harley Quinn because of course she'd fall in love with the sandwich. That's kind of how that works. So. And there's a lot of food scenes. Like there's a whole scene where they have Cassie Kane in there, who is like one of the Batgirls or whatever, and she's just a thief in this one. It's a bitchy thief in this one, and she ends up eating a diamond, and everyone wants this diamond. So Harley Quinn is able to beat up all the guys at the police station because they're just lowly men, so they don't really stand a chance against Harley Quinn,
of course.
And so she's able to get Cassie Kane and then leave with her. And they learn that there's a whole bunch of assassins after him because everyone wants this diamond. So, of course, they go home and chill at her apartment, eat cereal, and watch cartoons. After they go shopping, of course. So they go shopping for food and then and laxatives to give to Cassie Kane. And then they go home and they eat cereal and watch cartoons for a while. We need to have a egg sandwich scene and eating cereal and watching cartoon scene while everyone in the whole city is trying to kill them. That's how stupid this movie is. And see, Storm Shadow says, "Why does this keep happening?" And I thought Black Wesker from Netflix's Resident Evil was bad. You would think so. You would think they would learn their lesson. Yeah, and also, Cassie Cain is supposed to be a Batgirl, Batwoman, or whatever level character. But the Cassie Cain in this movie didn't look like she eats too many pies, dude. They gave her the Kelly Marie Tran treatment. It's like this. Oh yeah, a little pudgy Asian girl. That's kind of what they did. So I was like, wait a minute, that's Cassie Cain. She doesn't look like she fit enough to be a thief. Let's see, or to be like a Batgirl level character. And the worker says, well, remember that originally called Birds of Prey, and but like it's more of a Harley Quinn movie. So the idea of it being Birds of Prey first just sounds crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn. So it was always intended to be a Harley Quinn vehicle rather than a Birds of Prey one. Yeah, it's supposed to have been. If you watch the movie, it clearly is just a Harley Quinn movie that they begrudgingly added the other characters into. It was even made all the more jarring that the main bad guy was a Black Skull mask guy, and he rarely ever wore that thing. Also, he's boyfriends with Zaz, the serial killer guy that put the scar on himself. Like, they're clearly boyfriends. And Zaz keeps talking about how let's go have some fun. Let's have some fun. And it's and Black Skull is played by Ewan McGregor. Like, this is Obi-Wan Kenobi. How is he here? Why is he in this movie? How is it work that bad? Let's see. So it was always intended to be Harley Quinn vehicle rather than a Birds of Prey one. Yeah. Well, I think here's the thing. If I remember correctly, here's what happened. We went to go watch it. It was called Birds of Prey. And then we went to go watch the movie and like, what? Where's the Birds of Prey? And so after that, they made like a DLC update to the movie and then called it the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn afterwards. So that because it's mainly a Harley Quinn movie, it's not really a Birds of Prey movie. Insane.
Did you hear about that quadruple amputee guy who
shot somebody?
Yeah, it's like, how?
Well, I actually went over this. So I was streaming with The Shadiversity.
The Shadiversity.
Yeah, The Shadiversity. And we went over it. He actually has he's not an amputee. Turns out he was born that way. And so his arm has a little nub on it. Like his arm is like a little finger. And it could be, there's videos of him shooting the gun. And he has like a little nub at the end of or a little finger at the end of his nub.
He's got a finger?
Yeah, he's got a finger and he's just shooting it. Like, oh, that's how that works. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the guy right now, and like without his arms and leg extension things, he looks like a Cookie Run character. He picks up stuff like the Powerpuff Girls. The Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah, tiny... So the Powerpuff Girls actually that's how they pick it up. They actually have little fingers in there. Did somebody make that a comic where like, oh, here's how they actually pick up stuff? Like they have tiny little hairs or something at the end of their nubby hands, right? They just pick things up. Let's see. We'll spend 10 years. It's like when the Marvel book where the bad girl helps the hero because girls got to stick. Yeah, that actually happened. Where I think the bad guy. So I think it's like a Lady Thor or somebody was fighting this girl villain and a guy, and at one point the girl villain knocks out her male partner and then surrenders, saying, I give up because us girls got to stick together. So I surrender. I'm doing you a solid, girl to girl. Mm-hmm. As the Chronic Kendall says, there's a 5 super chat says, for the Pinto story, the cause was a bolt on the rear axle when the rear ended. Would rupture the gas tank, and this lets you do that. They allowed you to do that. Insane. Wolfsbane in the 10 cheers says Cassandra Cain is actually better than Batgirl and Batwoman. She's supposed to be daughter of Lady Shiva. Yeah, so the daughter of Lady Shiva, like she was like a Damian Wayne kind of character. Like she's daughter of Lady Shiva, another assassin, and was trained from birth to be the ultimate weapon. She's just some Asian girl, pudgy Asian girl in the street. That's kind of what she is in this continuity. Also, I think she's the one that can't talk. I think she's supposed to be the one that can't talk, which would make her character way better in the movie because just like nonstop. In fact, everyone is just that's how you know it's a feminist movie. Everyone nonstop. There's nonstop talking. I was like, can you just shut up for like 5 minutes and let me watch the movie? I don't need constant narration from Harley Quinn. You're not that funny. That's how I know it's a feminist movie. They're not that funny. And see, kind of catch all this of the $5 super chats. As my father said, easy fix would have been to simply replace the bolt with a set screw, but accountants and engineers were too proud to admit fault.
Really?
Also, they probably have like a bunch of like this uptight guys over there who's like, oh yeah, it's going to cost you like $4 trillion per car to fix. When a experienced mechanic like, all you gotta do is replace this, and it'll cost you like a couple of dollars to fix everything. And see, but they don't really have smart people up there. They have like by the book engineers like, oh yeah, it's going to cost you $4 trillion because you're a major company, and I want to gouge you for every cent you could possibly give me. Let's see.
Yeah, never reveal if you have money. Like, never tell anybody that, because everyone's gonna try to fucking take a piece of you. Like,
it's good. Imagine that. Remember that guy who like famously went to collect his lottery winnings wearing like the Scream mask, so his family wouldn't know he won the lottery.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dave says, remember that comic where She-Hulk attacked a prison transport? Yeah, probably killing the driver so that a woman could attack her abuser after he's been. So yeah, she we didn't even know. It's like, oh yeah, he has assaulted her. We didn't know, like, it didn't say sexual assault. So this is assault, and she didn't seem like that battered or anything. So the guy was convicted of assault and was guilty and was convicted and sentenced. And on his way to prison, She-Hulk decided to destroy the prison van, kill the driver essentially, to break him out so that the victim could like kill him or something. Like, wait a minute, that's not justice. He was convicted and sentenced. Like, you just didn't feel as if he was punished enough for whatever he did. And like the visual storytelling is like it couldn't have been that bad because she's not even injured. She looks normal. What do? Bump into her?
I gotta get running. I got a dentist appointment. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us too. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
And see. Cryptic Catalyst says, my dad would see Pintos and pull into parking lots and wait until they were out of sight before going back to the road. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea, actually. And see, because they would just blow up, apparently. All right, chat, let's get going. So Phil Minto made a video at Birds of Prey, the imposter Deadpool of Jack Sparrow. Check it out.
You thought you were different. I'm sorry, kid. I'm just a terrible person, I guess.
Birds of Prey and the Something Something Harley Quinn is the first DC movie of the new decade.
Yeah, the subtitle there is the most cringe feminist subtitle I've ever heard. Everything feminists do is cringe. I don't know what the hell. They would tap into pure cringitude. That's their main selling point. It's like they think cringe is funny. It's not. But yeah, Birds of Prey, the emancipation of one fantabulous Harley Quinn or whatever. It's just insane. It's so crazy. It just reeks of Tumblr. It really does.
And consequently, a chance for DC and Warners to once and for all prove that they have finally fully lifted themselves up from the brown-colored swamp they've been consistently drowning in for years. But since this is basically a spin-off of none other than Suicide Squad, I'm sure you can guess the result.
That was super embarrassing.
Sure was.
Essentially, Birds of Prey is an ensemble movie.
Okay, so
that
look at these people. Look at them. Is it really believable that all these men, like these men in suits, by the way, like not just like random dudes on the street, but men in suits even, are just all sexually obsessed with Harley Quinn? These ladies, like, come on, dude. They give up so many bad red flags. You know those good red flags? We're like, oh, that's kind of that sounds like that's a bad red flag, but it can be kind of attractive. You know, that sort of thing. But these are like crackhead, I'm gonna steal you, I'm gonna just stab you in the middle of the night and steal your money kind of women. I like this, like the whores on the street kind of women, you know, just cracked out. They want to steal, they want to mug you for meth money kind of. It looked like, but like everyone is all the men are just like sexually obsessed with them, except for Huntress, I guess, because she's barely in the movie. Like she's in the movie for maybe a minute. It's Wolf's made the 10 years. In my opinion, Cassandra is better than Damien because she was made by consenting adults. Shiva wanted a successor that can actually kill her. She actually has a good personality from the beginning. And I always thought I heard of Cassie Kane and she sounded like a cool character. is having read anything with her in it. Actually had a good personality from the beginning and has a good relationship with her mother. Father, on the other hand, probably needs to die. Let's see.
Is to leave out teeny tiny narrative elements like plot in favor of focusing exclusively on its wide-ranging group of eccentric characters, as well as this crazy wonky world of Harley Quinn's Gotham City that they inhabit. And even though you already know how I feel about not including a strong plot in movies,
Just do it!
based on 2019's Joker, I am willing to go with it, assuming that they actually pull off the characters and the world in a magnificent way. And of course, they don't. At all. And I gotta be honest, it feels a bit weird to say that, since the one thing this movie does handle exceptionally well is the way it chooses its main sources of inspiration, which here are Captain Jack Sparrow and Deadpool. And listen, if you want to comment that, oh look, Phil Mento's just making cool titles again, fair enough, but that's not all it is. Because when I say Birds of Prey takes inspiration from Captain Jack and Deadpool, I'm actually understating it. Because in reality, this movie is basically a straight ripoff of them, and it doesn't even try to hide it.
Parlay?
Or maybe Margot Robbie, but it's like, I suck your dick for $5, man. Ugh. $2. That's what it feels like. Ugh. Yeah, maybe like 2, maybe.
Parlay?
Hold up. I'm telling this all wrong.
Also, here's the thing about this movie. They think you're like freaking Quentin Tarantino. So there's a lot of like, oh, wait a minute. Let me go back up here. So like they'll rewind a few days ago, like you'll see something crazy, and then they rewind, like, how did it leave up here? Where you're really supposed to be like, okay, here's how this happened. This happened. All right, that's why I'm here. But man, this one takes a long time to get back to. A long time. And the movie, worst of all, the movie kind of feels like it is 2 movies put together, because the beginning has Harley Quinn get like drunk because she's been dumped by the Joker, even though that doesn't make sense even in this continuity because they're in love with each other in the Suicide Squad, and then all of a sudden they're not anymore. But right, she's in love with the Joker, she gets dumped by the Joker, and then she blows up the chemical plant. Complete act of terrorism, right? Complete act of terrorism. Okay. And then we have Rosie Perez, who's playing Montoya, by the way, who is lesbian now, and who has like an ex-girlfriend and everything. He goes, oh, well, Harley Quinn has made herself the number one target in, target in Gotham City because that's an act of terrorism. And that part gets completely forgotten about. Like the whole thing where she goes, oh yeah, she's a terrorist now. That's a big thing. We got to take her down. Completely forgotten about because the whole diamond plot comes into play. Like, where did this happen? How did this go? So there's a diamond plot that just pops up out of freaking nowhere, and this is what everyone is after her for: the diamond. Like they're trying. The bad guys capture her we need you to get the diamond. We got everyone's clamoring for this crazy random diamond, and the Ace chemical plants being blown up thing, just barely an inconvenience. Like no one. The only thing they remember from that action at all is that, oh, this is a public declaration that Harley Quinn is broken up with the Joker, and that she loses all of the protection that she had, that she gained from being the Joker's girlfriend. So that's it. Like no one is trying to take her down or charge her for an act of terrorism. That gets swept under the rug for this whole diamond plot. And then, of course, afterwards, Rosie Perez joins the Birds of Prey, and no one cares anymore that she blew up the chemical plant. No one. That gets swept in. That just gets completely forgotten about. So it does feel like it's 2 movies being put together, and or it's one of those feminist things where like she gets to sidestep consequences because she was angry when she did it. Or she did because it's a bad breakup. And I mean, that's the feminist dream, right? They can be angry over a breakup and then, burn the guy's car, ram a car into his house, or pop a guy's tires, something like that. And then that should be okay and forgiven and forgotten about because, oh, she was upset at the time. And see. Alex, the 10 cheers is time for a random Yu-Gi-Oh fact. To distract from the terrible movie, there is only 2 Yu-Gi-Oh main characters that have a rival. They were never beat in a duel. One of them is Jaden, who never won against Zane. He never wins against Zane. But they want to do like a flip. They want to flip it. because like there's like Kaiba never wins against Yugi, so they have like Jaden never win against Zane. Because I know isn't like Zane Jaden's Kaiba essentially.
Let's rewind.
Let's remember. I don't remember Montoya being a lesbian. I'm pretty sure she was like straight. That Montoya is a character that's been around for a while. Like I think she was even in the animated series. But she was always cool in animated series, like really cool. But I don't think she was ever I don't think she was ever a lesbian, as far as I remember. Now, they tried to make her a lesbian in the Cape Crusader because I don't know why, but Hollywood sees a tough Latina girl and think, oh, of course she's lesbian. Of course she is. But I don't think she was ever lesbian. Now they made her lesbian with Harley Quinn, I think, in the Cape Crusader new Batman series. And they also made Harley Quinn Asian and I think independent from Joker or something like that. So everything that's just icky to a feminist, they kind of removed, and they kind of made everyone lesbian. So I don't know. They made the joke like a butch lesbian penguin. Like, what the hell is this?
For you to understand
why I took a cat nap on 1,200 gallons of high-test fuel, I need to take you back.
with the walls closing in around me, I made a careful.
Yeah, they just kind of like, you know what? We want to make our own Deadpool. Yeah, people were saying that Deadpool was huge for Marvel. So DC for the last decade or so has been trying to play catch up to Marvel in the cinematic universe, arena for a decade. So everything Marvel does, DC tries to clamor to do also to capture that, to be a rival to Marvel. So that's kind of how they got Zack Snyder. They kind of clamored to catch up by having Batman vs Superman be 3 or 4 or 5 different movies at once. They didn't want to take their time, so they kind of just shoved everything into one single pot. And then they wanted to have, so Marvel, of course, got Deadpool, and Deadpool became a huge phenomenon. So they're trying to make Harley Quinn their Deadpool because, she's also a loony. And meanwhile, they had Joker make $1 billion with a low budget. Like, they made the top $1 billion a low budget, and then they went ahead and said, you know what? Let's not do anything with this universe at all. Let's not explore this. Now, it didn't really need more exploration. The Joker was really good as a solitary film. But what I mean is, DC has always been good with the big, profound plots. When it comes down to the movies and everything, their big, profound plots have always been legendary. Like the Mask of the Phantasm, Joker. They got the Dark Knight Returns. Like these deep, isolated plots, DC has been really good at. But instead, they decided to spend all their time and focus into trying to be Diet Marvel, like just Marvel at home, like a Temu Marvel. That's what they've kind of been for the last 10 or so years or something like that. And they really should have been just buckling down and cranking out really good films, like really good, isolated story films. You don't need a cinematic universe. There's really good stories because that's what DC has been really fantastic at. That's kind of made them king for a long time over Marvel. Was they made these really hard-hitting stories like The Killing Joke, the Black Mirror, basically all Batman. But even outside of Batman, you have like things like All-Star Superman, Kingdom Come. You have these really hard-hitting, like genre-shaking storylines that DC is known for, but they don't want to. They don't want to maximize on that. They don't want to take advantage of that. Instead, they just try to follow what Marvel does, and that's not their specialty. The DC specialty has always been more profound storytelling. Let's see. Alex said the 10 cheers is Zane also turns evil for a while and take a forbidden cyber dark deck that harms the owner and makes them constantly want to fight and turn back to a good guy by himself trying to stop Yubel. He loses and dies from Zane dies. His heart was damaged by his deck and constant shocks from a shock collar. I guess it makes sense. That sounds pretty insane, though. Let's see. Storm Shadow says, I used to think that Montoya was an original character made by BTAS. She might be, but I do know she was there. I do know she was in BTAS. That's where I learned about her from. But she's been around a while. So it's not like they made her up for this movie. She's been around a while. She's been like this tough Latina cop lady. Has kind of been around. So of course they made her lesbian, of course, because they think that if there's any kind of strong woman out there, she must be lesbian. Either you're a stay-at-home mom who wears dresses and is really, really girly and feminine, or you're a lesbian. That's the only two choices they provide you.
Fully calculated, highly strategic move. Are you dummies still sitting there? Fine. Since you stuck it out this long, I'll tell you a super
They do the same thing Deadpool does. Just because you still here? Why is the movie's over?
secret.
The personality of Harley Quinn is a straight copy-paste of Jack Sparrow, whereas this wonky world and the narrative used to showcase it is a straight copy-paste of Deadpool. And there's nothing wrong with that in of itself. If you're gonna copy something, you might as well copy the proven greats. What is wrong with it, however, is that this movie completely misses the point of what makes those two entities great, which ultimately leads to the destruction of not only the character of Harley Quinn, but also the other characters and the world around her, aka the very things this movie was supposed to get right. And if that wasn't already enough, then there's also one other aspect in here that this problem would have actually helped, but for whatever reason for that, the movie just decides to toss it aside entirely to make sure it doesn't work either. So yeah, let's roller skate into this neon-colored Gotham City of something Harley Quinn to see what exactly went wrong with it. Here's how not to Jack Sparrow and Deadpool. Based on her core personality and traits, the best way to describe Harley Quinn in this movie is that she's basically a female Gotham City equivalent of Captain Jack Sparrow, in that she's this very erratic, seemingly insignificant fool who maneuvers through the obstacles of the world with ease, despite appearing
But she just completely lacks the charm, unfortunately.
to be content with just living in her own head.
Jack Sparrow from the original trilogy of the pirate movies. Now, I do like On Stranger Tides. That one was actually pretty surprisingly good. But he's less Jack Sparrow there, especially the one after that, which is the one with the Spanish ghost guy. I forgot which one that was, but was it called Dead Man's Chest or something? I don't remember. But the original trilogy of films, he's pretty spot on. Like he has this hidden awesome charm to him that makes him feel more devious than foolish. They kind of flanderized his foolishness for the latter films, but the original trilogy, really spot on. This comes out of nowhere. Like she gets hit or something, and then she has this little Showtime thing where she's singing about how diamonds are a girl's best friend or something. Like, what the hell's this? What's going on here? This scenes like this kind of make me feel like this was two movies put together, and they didn't have time to like flesh it out. Let's see here. Enemy Acumen to $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Enemy Acumen. Appreciate it. Let's see. Enemy Acumen says, this spent the past 30 minutes in sheer confusion because coworker has the reading comprehension of a brick. He could explain the issue, so I couldn't give him a proper response until he realized. That's pretty funny. Well, I do know that just dealing with coworkers sometimes can be pretty frustrating. Like, as you got through it, Enemy Acumen, appreciate it. It's the Alexander 10 cheers, and Zane's death is actually not censored in the dub. In season 4, that's Japanese only. Zane is back to life thanks to Jaden and Ubel, but he can never play dual monsters or do anything that would cause his heart to speed up ever again. Well, that sucks. Or heart will stop for good. Well, that sucks. Probably shouldn't have played a lethal deck, I guess. Let's see. Oh, Dead Man's Tale. Dead Man's Tale. That's what it was. Like the last one. That I tried to watch that one. It was super cringe. The beginning of it was super cringe. But the other ones I think are pretty good. Even Stranger Tides, not as good, but I think it was all right. But the original trilogy, Jack is easily a mad genius.
All Alien, slack braces! Aye, Captain, slack braces! Step lively! Level will!
The only problem is that when the filmmakers tried to copy Jack, they completely missed the point of what makes him such a great, entertaining character. In other words, they clearly only looked at him as he appears in Pirates 5.
Yep, the worst one, where he's just kind of an idiot in Pirates 5.
Firstly, the thing that makes Jack Sparrow a real proper movie hero that audiences can connect with.
Really, like Pirates 5 really felt like it was written by somebody who just hates men. It really does. Like a lot of these kind of movies feel like they're written by people who hate men. And it really shows.
And look up to is the fact that even though he comes off as an insignificant idiot dismissed by others, that's not who he actually is. It's just a way for him to get an edge over others, which is very positively powerful because it essentially shows the audience that even though other people might look down on you and dismiss you as nothing, that doesn't mean you are nothing.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
Commodore! He's disabled the rudder chain, sir.
That's got to be the best.
I was the one with like the ghost guy who's like a. The 5 is the one with Anton Chigurh in it. That's the 5th one.
Pirate I've ever seen. So it would seem.
But with Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey, she actually is just an insignificant idiot. When she's being an annoying dumb drunk at a club, it's not because she's trying to present herself that way in order to gain access to some restricted area or something, but just because she's an annoying dumb drunk. When she does bad things to others which leads to them coming after her, it's not because she planned for that to happen for some reason, but just because she does dumb things. When she blows up Joker's HQ, it's not based on any hint of intelligence whatsoever, but instead
it's just because she got drunk. That's kind of what happens. Like she just gets drunk and does stupid things, and then that's it. There's no like ultimate plan where Jack Sparrow is kind of like setting things up, or you can see like the grand scheme he was going for. No, Harley Quinn does something here. She's just a drunk and then does a stupid thing, and that's it. There's no larger plan or some secret mad genius. Let's see. Kyrie says, "When are you talking about, LD? There are only 3 Pirates movies, Kirby. Only 3 of those movies in this household."
Only on the fact that she's a dum-dum who does dumb crap when she's drunk. And as we have very clearly seen, that's not the basis for a great character audiences want to connect with or support. And even if it was, is that really the kind of hero you want your teenage or even younger female audiences to look up to?
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
Secondly, speaking of dumb, remember how Jack Sparrow always uses his wits to maneuver himself through obstacles and out of
This is a pretty impressive scene because you can see him like doing crazy, like just random things, and then like, oh, that's pretty smart. He keeps jingling the chains to be annoying, and then till the guy goes, you know what? Just take them off, take the chains off, because I have a bunch of guards here. There's no way that anything bad can happen. All right, just remove the chains. They're very annoying, and so wow, that's pretty smart. He made it this. This is a Jack move. It's a Jack Sparrow move where he makes himself so annoying that they just take his chains off because it's like, okay, why not? We have guards everywhere. There's no way he could escape, right? Right. And then we see him like just throw a napkin on the floor or something like that, or a banana peel or something. And he's just looking at all this. Like you could see him planning out his escape, and you can see the steps one by one that leads up to his ultimate escape. It's pretty cool. Like this is a pretty good scene.
Situations. Well, that's not the case with Harley. Whatever obstacles she maneuvers through, whatever sticky situation she gets out of, it's always based on sheer random luck, like she was the DC equivalent of Mr. Magoo. When she's about
that's it. That's way better. Harley Quinn is like Mr. Magoo, not Deadpool or Jack Sparrow. She's like Mr. Magoo.
To be impaled by an arrow, she sees a random pin on the ground and ducks to take it. When she's about to be abducted by some douchebags, another character randomly shows up just in time to save her. Even when we finally do get a hint of Harley using her own wits to survive a tough situation, the movie smashes in front of us like, no.
Fine. It was dumb luck.
And it baffles me why DC and Warners can't just let Harley be a genuinely witty trickster who overcomes obstacles with her own abilities. Because when the universe just seems to gift her these get-out-of-jail-free cards, it just
Mary Sue
ends up feeling random and thus unearned. And speaking of random, thirdly, you know how Jack is a physical manifestation of motive who always has his own active goals that push the movie forward. Well, that's not the case here, because Harley is one of those dreaded inactive, passive heroes. For the first 40 minutes, the only motivated goal she has had is to eat a sandwich. How exhilarating. And then ultimately, it gets to the point where the movie is just like F it and decides to move things along by itself.
In the storytelling business, this dummy swallowing that diamond, is called a complication.
What Harley calls a complication here is not actually a complication, but instead a convenience.
To me, I just had this this horrifying. It's like just. I know it's not politically correct to think this, but really, you have to have the pudgy Asian girl eat the diamond. That's pretty funny. That's literally a storyline in Scrubs where the fat kid just eats Turk's engagement ring, and he has to like have him poop it out so they can give it to Carla. And also the same kid, by the way, this happened twice. Same kid eats like this pen that that Turk wants to give to Carla. Like, it's a really nice pen, and he eats the pen, and I think he has to give it to Carla later or something like that. Like, you give me an ass pen? Like, it's weird it happened twice. Like, Turk has given Carla 2 things that have come out of people's butt. It's pretty funny. But that's a plot line in a comedy called Scrubs. They made that a major issue for most of the movie, where the pudgy Asian girl eats a diamond. That's crazy. And see, Alexander 15 Cheers says Kaiba should really stop locking away all these dangerous magical Yu-Gi-Oh cards in one school that can be stolen. Yeah, why are you locking away into school? You know, at least Pegasus had the mind to like, I'm gonna lock this away in like different vaults and have them, you know, kept by the tomb keepers. Also, some extra Millennium items that are never explained. Like, why in the school? Like, why are you keeping this all in the school, Kaiba? You should give them to Merrick and stuff. And see, enemy Akame says Dad is watching Scrubs now. Scrubs is really good. I like Scrubs. Scrubs is a really good show for most of the series. And like the last couple of seasons, awful. Especially when they switched like the new school or new characters, and there's one I think where they're in a school or something that no one really acknowledges anymore. Like, like the one where they're all on college campuses or whatever. Like Dr. Cox is a teacher. No one likes that one. So anyway, but Scrubs for the most part, excellent show. Really like that one.
Because since Harley isn't pushing the movie forward with her actions, the movie has to push her forward with these random events. Like when the girl randomly shows up.
Yeah, like it's not, the storyline isn't about everyone going after Harley Quinn because she blew up a chemical plant. It's like she blew up a chemical plant. Who cares? Now it's about this diamond plot for some reason.
At the right place.
I was just taken aback. I was like, what? I was like, hold on. It's about a diamond now? But what? Surely this is going to tie into the chemical plant somehow. No, it never does. It's just a separate plot altogether.
It's at the right time to steal this important MacGuffin diamond that the bad guy needs. But even after that, when the movie finally seems to make Harley active, she still doesn't actually have any goals and motivations of her own. Because she's either just doing what others tell her to do, or she's waiting for someone else to poop out the MacGuffin for her. How exhilarating. I mean, the whole theme of this movie is to show that Harley can have a purpose by herself beyond just being given a purpose.
She can't, though. Like that's the whole thing, was that she can't have a purpose by herself. She needs the Joker. She needs to have the Joker. She's the lackey of the Joker. That's it. And they have the whole speech, and they're like, Harley Quinn is supposed to serve. Okay, fine. Why is that so bad? Look, there's so many romantic jobs for men are about service. You know, the samurai serves his lord. The knight serves his lord and the people. Even folk heroes like Robin Hood. I steal from the rich to give to the poor, even though he kind of steals back tax money to give back to the people the rich took the tax money from. But anyway, the Robin Hood serves the poor. He serves the people. So there's a really strong ethic in a man's mentality to serve a larger cause. Like, be it like, I'm going to go fight for Rome, you know, I'm going to go fight for my country, I'm going to serve my lord as a samurai or a knight or whatever, I'm going to serve the church as a paladin, something like that. But when it comes down to women being in jobs of service, that's bad, right? Suddenly, service it stops being noble, and it's supposed to be strong, independent girl. It's just weird how women are not, like, the idea of women being service, like in terms of service, in service jobs, like, oh, I have to serve as a Harley Quinn. Yeah. And good. That suddenly becomes a bad thing. Meanwhile, it's like men serving others, men being in roles of service and dedication to something higher than themselves or someone else, like a lord, romanticized. But a woman doing it, serving a man, serving her husband, terrible, apparently. Terrible.
Purpose by men like the Joker.
He is going to be running right back into his arms the minute.
Look at this. Like, every woman in this movie is like this, I don't know, non-binary, this non-binary meth head monstrosity. Like, what the hell is going on here? Like, this lady has like scars on her face. Like, every woman in Gotham, I guess, does meth
He snaps his fingers.
constantly.
If not him, the next closest alpha male with a pulse.
Some people just aren't born to stand on their own.
But then when she actually is without the choker, she has no purpose whatsoever until another man steps in and gives her one. What a great message. What a great character. All in all, if you want to copy Captain Jack, maybe don't pick the one movie that doesn't actually feature the real Captain Jack, because this is what happens. As to the way the narrative of this movie is built, with all the edgy fourth wall breaking voiceover and multiple non-chronological timelines and overall ridiculous carefree tone, that's when we enter Deadpool territory, which by itself probably is a great fit for a story like this.
And see, Minnesota Vet says wokeness writers fail because they have no concept of human conditionality. They don't, actually. They live in too much in their own little bubble, and they believe humans work the way they want them to work, the way the humans will fit into their own little world work. Meaning like all the conservatives are evil. Like basically all the things that the leftists have been preaching in America. That's how the world works to them. It doesn't really work that way at all. Like in their mind, all black people vote Democrat. And it's so weird that when one doesn't, right? All Hispanics must vote Democrat. In their world, all Hispanics are concerned with illegal immigration, saying, "Oh, that's us, that's us." You know, they're deporting us. Like, no, they're deporting people who are not citizens, right? That is in their mind. Oh, this is that illegal immigration, like cracking down on illegal immigration, is an assault, is an attack on the Hispanic population in America. Like, no, it's not. It's not at all. It's against illegal immigrants. So this is kind of how the world works in their minds. So that's why in their movies, this is also how the world works in their minds. It's just how it goes. That's why when they make movies that are based off their worldview, which is not the real worldview at all, it feels so fake. Like, that's not how it would actually go. So that's why in Harley Quinn, the Birds of Prey, the Fantabulous Emancipation, one Harley Quinn, all the men are just incompetent man babies or creeps or rapists looking guys, like, rapey looking guys, or all that stuff. Because that's kind of how they like to operate. That's how they view men. Men are just incompetent weirdos who are just given power, right? And who just throw tantrums at a moment's notice. So they make movies based on this clearly false worldview, and so that's how it ends up working. And people are like, "What? This is not how it actually works in real life. Why is it so weird here? Like, men aren't really like that. Like, most men earn their positions. Like, it's they work hard and get an upgrade, get a promotion. Like, men ask for promotions more, right? Not all conservatives are evil. Like, some might be, but not the majority aren't. Not all black people kind of think the same, oddly enough. I know it might be a shock to a Democrat, but not all black people think the same. Not all Hispanics think that. In fact, most Hispanics probably don't think that the crackdown on illegal immigration is a crackdown on them. Like, these are plot points given to us by the Democrats and the leftists in America, but they're not actually true. They're not actually real. They seem real to them because they spend all their time in the little bubbles getting hyped and reinforcing these worldviews, saying, "Oh, look at this, look at this, look at this. Oh, it's so right, so true." And that Christians are evil, on stuff, yada, yada, yada. So in their world, is how their movies and shows, this is how the world works. So therefore, every man is like a sexist or a weirdo. And then people watch these movies like, I don't really like that. So that's why the normie eventually walked away from them. Even the normie was like, no, thank you, not for me, thank you. This is a weird lie you're selling me. I cannot get into the movie. It's so hard to get into a movie or TV show that's built on a world that doesn't exist. Like, you're telling me this is how the world functions? No, it doesn't. Because I've seen people, I've met people. Most people don't actually think this way. But these are all falsehoods, like just painted uniformly across the lines, or I guess you could say, by the leftists and Democrats. Doesn't work that way. Not in real life. Anyway, Akame with the 2 says, to be fair, the only men they know are from Hollywood. Yeah, just like no wonder they think all the men are creepy rapists. All the men they know are leftist, male feminist Hollywood types. Yeah, everyone's a giant gray blob, essentially. Yeah. And see. All right, chat. By the way, we are actually pretty far away from Pillarman. We're like $60 away from Pillarman. Yeah, $64 away from man. Super chat light showed, I guess. $64 away from Pillarman. Okay, pretty far away.
There's just one teeny tiny problemo. Whereas Deadpool is a Deadpool movie told from the point of view of Deadpool, Birds of Prey is a Birds of Prey movie told from the point of view of Harley Quinn. The issue of which comes in form of the fact that it kinda ruins every other protagonist character who isn't Harley Quinn. To give this movie a bit of credit, it clearly did try when it comes to building its main cast of characters. The Canary Woman and the detective, for example, are constructed in an adequate way where they have enough things about them for us to understand what makes them tick and who they are as people. But despite this, we still never feel like we get close enough to them to actually be able to support and care about them. Because even though we are aware of the things that make them who they are, we never actually see those things take place. We just hear Harley say they took place.
10 years ago, she broke a career-making case. Canary's been singing at Roman's Club for years.
So I could buy Rosie Perez as Montoya. Not too bad. Not too bad. But when she's Montoya as detective, okay, not Montoya, the street fighter who joins the Birds of Prey at the end of the movie, like, oh, grandma's throwing his granny punches. It's like, okay, it's just so like she's not a fighter. I mean, I think she's into fighting like as a sport, but she's clearly not a fighter, or she didn't train for this movie or something, because her form is just awful. It looks so clunky, and like. People have done this before, like you know, what's her name? The actress who plays the ballerina, and the Furiosa, you know, just the girl, Platonic Blonde. There's a lot of women who can pull off this thing, but she could not make it believable. It's not that great. It's terrible. So, like, oh yeah, Granny grandma is over here fighting with the Birds of Prey. These large men. Like, okay, yeah, all right. Applause to the stuntmen.
Remember the guy who stole her promotion? That's him. He calls her his little.
Of course, the captain is the guy who had his partner, which is Rosie Perez, cracked the case, and then he took all the credit. And at the end, she cracks the case of Black Skull guy and all the bad guys, and then he takes credit again. So of course, it's that feminist mentality of you know, men always take credit for a woman's work. It's like Batwoman thing. I'm not gonna let a man take a credit for a woman's work. Yeah, Ana de Armas. That's her. That she did a really good job. I mean, she's not like 50 or something like that, but she did a really good job. Halle Berry, I think, was like 40 or 50 or something like that when she did John Wick 3. She did a really good job. She did a really good job. Let's see here. She's 59, so I think she might have been in her 50s when she did John Wick 3. She did a fantastic job in John Wick 3. She was believable as a fighter and a running gunner. So, yeah, she's near retirement in this one. So it's like, really going to start a new life as a Birds of Prey member? I don't think so. It looks so weird.
Bird, the assistant DA, that's her ex. He's got
they made her lesbian,
her wrapped right around his fancy little finger.
When Deadpool tells us things through voiceover, he tells them about himself as we see him experience them. What he doesn't do is tell us things about other unknown characters in an effort to make us care about them, but instead makes us care about them through the relationship he himself has with them. And so when Harley is randomly telling us stuff about these other main characters without having any kind of relationship with them herself, it just doesn't work, and all these characters end up being is forgettable.
Charlize Theron has been around a while, and she's awesome. I think she was wasn't she a Mighty Joe Young? The Mighty Joe Young, I watched that when I was young. But yeah, she played Jill Young, and that was a good movie. I went to go see that in theaters. That was awesome. I loved that movie. I liked animals and airplanes as a kid. And so Mighty Joe Young was right up my alley. I watched that movie so many times. watch the movie over and over and over again.
Superficial sideshows. And even when we actually do see enough about a character's own story to kind of get...
Also, it's kind of funny that she also played the wife in Devil's Advocate. Oh, there it is. See, you almost got right there. It says, first time I remember Charlize Theron was the Devil's Advocate. Like, it's kind of funny now seeing her that she became like this tough girl action star with Furiosa and Atomic Blonde and stuff. But yeah, in her early career, she was like Maya Jo Young, the girl from Maya Jo Young, and the wife from Devil's Advocate. So those are not like, hardcore masculine roles. But I love Devil's Advocate. Really good movie. And I really enjoy Maya Jo Young. I like that a lot. And see, Halle Berry did actually, Harley. So you can actually see the video. Right? You can actually see the video of her training and stuff. And she trained, this is about as hard as Keanu Reeves trained for his role. And she's pretty good too. They train together. It's pretty cool to see them train together. I liked it quite a bit, like seeing all that stuff. Halle Berry did actual training for John Wick. Yeah, I don't really blame Rosie Perez for not training for like this movie. I mean, why would you? But it just kind of showed up, it kind of showed up there in the movie where like she's like trying to fight and be this badass, trying to keep up with the other Birds of Prey characters, and it's clearly not working. It's clearly the stuntmen are doing 90% of the work to make her look good, and they did a good job making her look good. So for the most part, I mean, they look like they're being beat up. And so Megathon, they said $20 super chat. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And see, so since you're my inspiration, thank you much, Megalithon. Here's a quick update for 2 government girlfriends. Man, I wish Stu were here so he can be in on this. And see, what if it is sci-fi and there is Bioroid vat grown? I just need a good 2-name company named German or Japanese, so it's good quality products. It's like they make the girlfriends, like you can just order one. That'd be kind of funny. And that would also be kind of anger inducing for the real women there, where it's like, what? But I want a boyfriend. Yeah, but the way that would work is because of slavery. Like that would be considered slavery. So we got a homegrown. Wouldn't this also be interesting because there's government issued girlfriends and there's like, wouldn't there also be privatized like these? You could, this is a government girlfriend. Yeah, but I went with Namco or something, and they gave me like a name brand girlfriend from a vat. Like this, like what if he got 2 government girlfriends because like, oh yeah, I'm really lonely and everything, but I don't have enough money to buy one of the name brand ones, so I'm going to go with the government one. And maybe that's how he gets 2, because maybe he gets one from the government, but for his birthday, his rich uncle gives him one that's name brand or something. I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting. Government versus name brand. It'd be kind of cool.
Close to them, it still gets ruined by the tone that comes with viewing this world from Harley Quinn's point of view, like happens with Huntress. Out of all the non-Harley protagonists in this movie, Huntress gets closest to functioning properly. We see that
she's barely in the movie. Like this, like yeah, maybe she's closest to functioning properly because like she gets the least bit of attention. Like if it was about her, it probably would have been interesting.
The tragic event that molded her into who she is. We experience it with her. We actually feel for her and want to support her. But then out of nowhere, because this is a narrative told through the eyes of Harley Quinn, the movie suddenly takes this tragic backstory and turns it into a Harley-like carefree joke.
What the hell is up with this bow and arrow shit?
It's not a f***ing bow and arrow, it's a cross.
And she just becomes angry woman. Once she joins the Birds of Prey, she becomes angry, quirky lady.
Bo, I'm not 12.
I love this chick. She's got rage issues.
I don't have rage issues!
So we have this really tragic backstory of this girl losing her. And
I do like the fact that this is from that era, right? Where that era where every single girl has to have like some sort of emotional validation. This really has also happened in Rise of Skywalker. Like I don't care. I know you don't care, But I think you're awesome. Like, they keep saying this to the main character, like constant emotional validation.
Entire family as a kid. And then ultimately all this world we exist in makes it amount to is, oh, your whole
definitely not stealing any of these ideas. Yeah, exactly.
Family was murdered? I bet you have anger issues. And because this tragic backstory event is so different from the carefree, ridiculous world of Harley Quinn to the point of being incompatible, it just ends up losing all of its emotional potency. Which is why even Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is a great actor, just cannot make Huntress work.
It's not a f***ing bow and arrow, it's a crossbow. I don't have rage issues!
And the Oscar goes to...
I don't have rage issues!
If you want to make a Deadpool-like Harley Quinn movie about Harley Quinn, then make a Deadpool-like Harley Quinn movie about Harley Quinn. But if you want to make a Deadpool-like Harley Quinn movie about this Birds of Prey crime-fighting group that Harley Quinn ultimately isn't even a member of, I would stop to reconsider. As much as what we've talked about causes problems all around the narrative and the protagonist characters, there is one aspect about this movie where it all works incredibly great. And that is our main villain, Roman Sionis. Sionis by far is the strong...
Does it though? Like, part of him works when he's in the mask, it works. But it was just like without the mask, he kind of is like a weird, crazy, chaotic man baby. And I'm not really sure how he's taking over Gotham. Like, it doesn't seem believable to me that he would be taking over Gotham. It would just, the Gotham's underworld. It doesn't make any sense.
Strongest part of this film, because none of...
And it's because you're ruthless and insane does not mean you can just take over things. In fact, that'd be a liability. Like, he's ruthless and insane, so everyone would be like, oh, you know what? Let's take this guy out. I'm pretty sure that being crazy and ruthless and insane is not a pathway to taking over the Gotham's underworld. Like, especially not Gotham's underworld, but it's full of, traditional bad guys, just organized crime that go back decades, and layers and layers of corruption. I'm pretty sure it's a lot tougher than just, I'm going to shoot everyone I don't like.
The problems we've talked about apply to him. You know how we never got into the cast of main characters because we only hear Harley describe...
I mean, it's not just this movie, by the way. It's a lot of movies where they try to justify the main bad guy taking over by saying, oh yeah, he's a wackaloon. He's just crazy and ruthless. And that goes pretty far, but that sort of action will get people against you. Like, that, I'm pretty sure that... yeah, that's scary. But if you're just like a lone guy kind of rising up and you have the ruthless actions going on, if there's a lot of organized crime families and stuff, they're probably going to like ally against you. I'm pretty sure. Like, even if they wanted to side with you or side with the crazy guy, that'd be stupid. Like, he's insane. Even if you're his ally, he's going to turn against you. Like, it's way better to work with guys who, respect deals and rules and everything than work with a crazy guy who just probably kill anyone who looks at him funny. So realistically, I'm pretty sure they would just all team up to kill off the crazy dude. So the whole idea of him being a crazy manic man baby, him taking over the Gotham underworld because he's insane and ruthless, not really all that believable. And it's really never believable to me in any movie where they have the bad guy become powerful because he's crazy, right? That just because he's crazy. Like, you can have there could be the idea of he's really ruthless, but also he respects the rules and the chain of command, but he's just ruthless when he does his job. That's fine, that makes sense. But it's just like the Joker is crazy, he'll just kill anybody. Well, then all of the bad guys, all of the organized crime family members will probably side against that guy because it's way better to stomp him out than to side with him.
The things that make them who they are. Well, that doesn't happen with Sionis, because not only do we witness him experience events and make choices that clearly define who he is, we also get to know him through the relationship Harley has with him. Plus, unlike the other characters, he actually fits the tone of a Harley Quinn movie like a glove. He's a ridiculous, carefree sadist who also seems to have a more three-dimensional, deeper side to him, which is built up to with his overly insecure aggression as well as his strangely intimate relationship with his right-hand man, Zaz.
Get out! Get out of here! You know that. I know it. Why doesn't this crossbow? Why don't I own the crossbow gun? You should own it. I mean, I like crossbows. What is she laughing at?
laughing at me?
Why is this happening to me? Why?
I'm gonna get your diamond back. I promise.
On top of all this, in the third act, Harley Quinn actually finally gets her own clear motivated goal when she has to race after Sionis to defeat him. And at this point, it's like, oh wow, this movie might actually end up being pretty good. Until... For an hour and a half, a core issue with this film has been that it tries to force a Harley Quinn movie out of a non-Harley Quinn movie. And now, at long last, when at the end it finally can be a full-on Harley Quinn movie, the filmmakers then suddenly decide that, maybe this shouldn't be a Harley Quinn movie. Instead of Harley having a wonky end goal corresponding to her wonky personality, here she just wants to save this girl that nobody in the audience cares about, which is fine, but way too much of a common cliche to be all there is to it. Instead of paying off the personality build-up done with Sionis, here the ultimate reveal is that, yeah, the reason he wants the MacGuffin diamond is just to become rich and powerful, which not only is like every B-class gangster movie ever, it also makes absolutely no sense. He's already been established to be the most dangerous guy in Gotham. The only person he fears is the Joker, who isn't even part of this movie. And so why would he need to become rich and powerful when that already is exactly what he is?
If he gets the diamond, he'll have all the money and connections.
One of the most wealthiest families.
And see, says one of my ideals is that is a tyrannical government that is to keep a citizen from revolting. If you're unmarried by 30, the government assigns you a partner, keep you busy. That would be more incentive to have like privatized versions of this, right? So like, oh, getting close to 30 as a man, and you don't want a government girlfriend, you want like a one that's kind of customized to your needs. Well, come down to whatever the privatized company is named, right? That'd be a huge marketing opportunity. They'll start. It's like, hey, you don't want one of these terrible government girlfriends, do you? Come over here to our place. We'll get you set up right with a customized one, insurance, all that stuff. Like it's all the bells and whistles. So I'm pretty sure it might be a big business.
In Gotham.
To bribe every single judge and cop he needs.
Gotham's newest godfather.
To get a monopoly on the city.
I own this town.
And I'm telling you, it's so weird because I swear they were building up for a climax that is something entirely else. And what do you know? Asking my buddy Google, turns out something entirely else is exactly what it was supposed to be. In the original script, the MacGuffin diamond didn't contain codes to a bunch of money, but instead to a collection of nude photos of Sionis that prove that he prefers sausage over pie. And it makes total sense. It explains why he's so weirdly intimate with Sass. It explains why he's so insecurely aggressive. It explains why he's causing all this mayhem and havoc for one diamond. Because underneath that scary danger shell, all he actually is an insecure little man who's afraid people will see him for who he truly is. And that's freaking fantastic. Not only does it make this character three-dimensional, it also perfectly fits in this neon-colored, wonky Deadpool-like Harley Quinn version of Gotham. Think about it. In the third act, Harley Quinn has to defeat Black Mask by getting her hands on a bunch of nude photos that expose him for liking guys.
And
that would be really funny for like a wacky scenario like this. If it's a comedy, like if it's a super, this is why they should get away from like DC and Marvel because, because this is Harley Quinn, because it's DC, because Black Skull is like an established villain. Like, oh man, that is degrading his villainy and his character. But if they kind of made their own thing and just kind of made their own universe like they did with like Invincible and The Boys and everything, yeah, this would go. He's like, oh yeah, it's just there's no connection to any established characters from any established universe, and so pretty much anything they want to go can go, and they could definitely do something like this. It'd be pretty funny.
Obviously, the point wouldn't be to convey there's something wrong with that, but just to use it as an insecure flaw in the villain who refuses to grow over it.
That's exactly the type of movie we've been trying to build up. That's exactly a Harley Quinn movie if I've ever heard of one. But instead, what we ultimately do get is Harley Quinn has to go save this girl from this rich, powerful gangster who wants to become even more rich and powerful. And that's it. That's it. You know, at least Suicide Squad had the decency of being bad from start to finish to make it clear there exists no good version of it that we missed out on. But here, it's like, not only do they give you a movie that doesn't work, they also flip you off with the potential of what it could have been. So, sounds like good old DC.
was pretty good, chat. All right. Let's see. Where is it? Okay, I forgot to go over this earlier. Again, we started it, but I forgot to go over this a little bit earlier. So here we go, chat. Let's check this out. The woke era is over. Now it's turning the culture war into camp. Let's see. Until recently, Hollywood was the site of a proxy culture war. Its choices to make Ruth Bader Ginsburg biopic or an Eddie Galler hagography. Barbie 2 is a Purity Ring era Jones Brothers movie. Seemed at times to draw more public attention than anything happened in labor or interior departments. William B.F. Buckley once said he would rather be governed by the first 2,000 names in the Boston phone book than by 2,000 Harvard faculty members. Yo, definitely. Absolutely. Those people are going to be wackaloon, insane, woke weirdos. They don't want that. I'd rather have like the random Boston guys. Pretty sure. There was a time where many Americans, especially those dispirited by Donald Trump, seem to feel something similar about animators at Disney or the executives at Netflix, whom they charged with putting forth whatever values the actual government wouldn't be made to embrace. Anyone fantasizing about Hollywood as some liberal bulwark through the 2024 election brought the idea to an abrupt halt. The industry's era progressive sincerity and much of its wariness towards conservative coded content has evaporated, man. This is a January 2006, this year. This 2 months ago. So they're kind of just admitting it, that the whole woke thing, not really working out anymore. Not at all. Let's see here. Hold on. What's this? So yeah, instead of a hard pivot from progressive to conservative, something stranger has followed. Suddenly both sides of the culture war are appearing on screen. Whoa. They can't have that. That's scary. Both sides are being represented. It's weird that the people who obsess about representation are afraid of both sides appearing on screen. Both sides being represented on screen. Only in deeply artificial, grand guignol fashion, there's messages issuing from characters who feel like Goosh parodies. The culture war, in other words, has gone camp. Yeah, it's a joke now. Hollywood's seeing like the woke, the insane woke weirdos as jokes. Hollywood now makes frothy, delirious shows for bipartisan audiences. Oh my goodness, how dare they? Bipartisan, don't you know that you're always be making content and entertainment for left-wing people, in which political causes that once seemed life or death are taken up as easy targets. Ideas that once felt incendiary become punchlines or dizzy memes. In many cases, it is hard to tell whether the left-wing talking point issuing from the character on screen is actually the product of an irony-poisoned right-wing writer. This is kind of funny because this has happened quite a bit. Where some left-wing progressive writer kind of like puts their stuff into a show or movie, but they do it so badly that the progressives get angry because they feel like they're being insulted, because that's kind of how they think. So it's so in-your-face blatant that it's just so overt that the progressives will look at this and get insulted. Like, how you're making fun of us? Like, no, I'm trying to represent you. No, you're making fun of us. Or inversely, whether right-wing dialogue comes from a mean-spirited member of the Democratic Socialist of America, they are camp aesthetics in the old sense. They take the exterior trappings of once serious beliefs and produce chintzy knockoffs with deadpan solemnity. Look, George Carlin once said that the most fun thing to do is make fun of people who take themselves too seriously. So anything, and that's what he made fun of feminists. He made fun of religious people, and anyone who takes himself too seriously, he loved to poke fun at. And that's kind of what Hollywood is doing now, I guess. They're taking people who take themselves way too seriously and mock them. Ideological debates have been flattened to cosplay and puppetry. Very based. Nice. Very based. Let's see your chat. Here we go. The careerist girl boss, for instance, certainly feels like an expired ideal, supplanted by the trad wife and booming youth groups that sell merchandise proclaiming my favorite season is the fall of feminism. Yeah, that's That's a good season. Yet the girl boss archetype is the centerpiece of All's Fair, Fall's most sensational streamer, which one British critic deemed the worst TV drama ever. It's about divorce lawyers who extract exorbitant settlements from wronged women's despicable partners. They live inexplicably like billionaires in a gilded splendor that's framed as a liberatory. The most eyebrow-raising elements tend to include Kim Kardashian, who wears a thong-bearing power suit to legal proceedings and comforts herself after revelations of her partner's infidelity with a Patrick Bateman-level beauty routine that includes filler fermented from salmon sperm. Oh, damn, salmon sperm? The firm's office, with its flesh-colored modernist touches and what are these? It's trying to sound fancy. Conference chairs. Like I'm not that fancy. To me, a chair is a chair. It's kind of like when women have these weird colors, like mauve or something. It's like, no, it's not mauve. All right, I know red, blue, and green. Conference chairs even brings to mind the wing, the women-only co-working space that defined a certain strain of 2010s feminism. How to interpret all of this is up to you. True to its neoliberal roots, All's Fair seems to expect the viewers to will mindlessly cheer every dollar fed into the central character structures of affluence, but it's equally easy to watch a character's relentless acquisition as though this was satire, a diluted brand of pink-washed Nietzscheanism. Red State soap opera, The Hunting Wives. What if Netflix? Whoa! So a conservative show is one of Netflix's most successful shows. Draws from worn-out stereotypes on both sides of the political spectrum. Brittany Snow plays, which means, by the way, that the conservatives are hardworking individuals that are honest and pure and good. And if they're talking about old school stereotypes, this means the liberals are crazy weirdos and wackaloons. It's kind of what it used to be. Brittany Snow plays Sophie O'Neill, former Democratic consultant, immersed in a world of glamorous MAGA housewives. Nice. She's tightly wound and moralizing, reflexively afraid of guns, and takes it back by proud. No wonder people love this. It's real life. This is what happens. Like, whoa, you're around MAGA people, and it's not so bad actually. But her outsider status is quickly shed when she leaps into a forbidden affair with the housewives' leader. There was a time when Democrats debated boycotting Thanksgiving dinners. They did. I remember this. They wanted you to boycott Thanksgiving dinner with your conservative friends or conservative family members. They did that. Meanwhile, my cousin, who's more MAGA than I am, has a clock of Donald Trump where every single time the clock, every hour or something like that, it rings. It says, "Make America Great Again." Like, it's pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Let's see here. There was a time when Democrats debated boycotting Thanksgiving dinners with Trump supporting family members. Now conservatism serves as a cameo-heavy costume for the exotic and the forbidden. Yeah, you made conservatism forbidden fruit, and so all these women like it now. That's pretty funny. Even in shows explicitly framed as conservative like Landman, ideology tends to be rendered with detachment, as if MAGA trappings are being added in the same obligatory way a noir film adds fedoras in pinstripe suits. Yeah, it's just there. This is normal. They hate this because, like, no, we're the ones supposed to be doing this. It's supposed to be our side of getting like the dog whistles and stuff. Billy Bob Thornton plays the title character, wrangling fossil fuel leases on behalf of an independent counterpart to Big Oil, but he is no jaunty imperialist oil baron. Instead, he traverses the nicotine-stained badlands of Texas like southwestern Willie Loman. See, Willie Loman? Okay. Interesting. Did he die at the end? Whatever. One viral supposedly lib-owning clip. Yeah, I remember that. Okay, I think I know this one. As I'm dismissing renewable energy and fatalistically defending oil extraction. We don't do it because we lack it. We do it because we run out of options. The oil workers are at various points gassed, poisoned, maimed, and killed. Conservative hand-wringing over birth rates is given a bizarre manifestation as lead characters Daffy, cheerleader daughter, who airs a quasi-eugenic theory about how cheerleaders mating with jocks will reduce the human equivalent of super retrievers. All of this feels like a roughneck triumph of the will and more like an kind of burlesque of the right wing. So all of this demonization of the right wing, and it's ended up with making the right wing and conservatism really desirable, especially by women, because even though there's women supposedly going far left, they have made conservatism forbidden fruit, and people secretly like it. I think it's why Gen Z specifically is going far more right, because it's forbidden fruit. It's the rebel cause. It is the counterculture. Conservatism and right wing, they made that counterculture. So it's pretty fun. But I think that's kind of a little look into what's going on from a article from January. Hollywood's woke era is over. Now it's all a joke, and they're going back to the right wing. Like there's more right wing imagery. It is being like pushed as normal, because that's kind of what has become right wing in America these days. This normalcy, being a normal person makes you right wing. So people kind of like started to subconsciously kind of connect themselves with right wing culture. And see. Anyway, chat. Dr. Randforth says, good morning, LD and Bez chat. Looks like Doug Walker was able to piss off Twitter freaks by refusing to condemn Trump for using one of his memes. And yeah, you're supposed to like make the rounds and go, I condemn Trump. I don't like this. How dare Trump do this, do that? When, realistically, the president of the United States used me for one of his memes. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Doug Walker's a Trump guy. Pretty sure he's a Trump guy. That's why he doesn't really talk about politics. Pretty sure he's a Trump guy for using one of his memes and chose to be a fence sitter. Fence sitting means he's Trump. Fence sitting means that he's a Trumper. That's kind of what happens. You either don't talk about politics, you learn not to talk about politics around your crazy psycho left-wing friends or family members, because then there's to go off, and then suddenly you're just in a war, right? Or you just you remain neutral. That means you're essentially right wing or pro Trump. It's kind of what happened, because it's kind of telling, that Trump was able to wrangle himself the American flag as his icon. That's pretty telling. And see, they usually saying out of politics is a sign that they're right wing now. And see, there we go. All right, chat. So we're going to go ahead and close the stream for today, chat. All right, so we're going to go to streaming, and we made it a little over halfway to Pillarmans. No Pillarman today. So we're going to go transition over to stream memes with can't be Pillarman, so try this.
At night we sit by the lonely fire.
All right, chat. Here we go. Stream memes, chat. Stream memes. Let's see. All right. I like the way you think. It says, and what do we do when we have the urge to punch somebody in the face? Check for witnesses. I know you like her, son, but you can't just pull a girl's hair until she's like 30 or so. That they actually come around on that one. Let's see. The pH of the soil is too high. I am going to die. Dandelions. Fuck yeah, concrete. And see. We still need like $46. We're really far away. Solly Rykon, which by the way, we hadn't made enough Pillarmen to get back to Full Metal Alchemist. We haven't. So yeah, we've kind of stalled in the Full Metal Alchemist thing. Let's see. Me, a good girl? Oh my god, no. Let's see. He ain't lying. What's this? Star Trek Voyager mentioned commence threshold memes. No, I think even the show forgot about threshold. I think even the show was like, yeah, you know what, threshold doesn't exist. And because threshold was possible as an episode because like Paris made this crazy, weird, like I don't know, scientific breakthrough that allowed him to be everywhere in the universe at once for a split second. It's a and who might you be, young man? Neville. Neville Longbottom. I don't think it's Longbottom, it's like thick bottom. Is a tooth man? Me when it's slurs Tuesday. I'm right behind you on tie. He's right behind me, isn't he? These digital circus memes. Let's see. Ted. There's S Death, by the way. And then sometimes puberty is a wonderful thing. And then again, sometimes it's not. Well, I mean, that's not puberty. That's like his soul being split into seven. So I would think it looks pretty good for a guy with like a seventh of a soul. So what if you know who sends zombies to attack Hogwarts? Zombies eat brains, Longbottom. You're safe. Aw. Who might you be, young man? Neville Rockbottom. Come in swinging. There's S Death and her crew. Wait, guys, I can explain. Dumbledore gave you 60 points and gave me only 50. 50? I only got 10. You guys are getting points from Dumbledore. Longbottom. And the time I discovered, hey, maybe I'm pretty good at herbology. That's why he's not the hero, because he's good at herbology. Like he could become a herbologist. Not very exciting. My new 3.5 party is summoned to Kryn. Oh shit. Kryn's gods, furious because they're all epic level, competent, are a level 50 Eldritch Cleric who they don't like you getting to level 20. Imagine level 50 starts walking around. They're definitely going to be, but you know what? At that point, what can they really do, right? You're going to, like, a level 50? Look, what's his name? Rasslin. Rasslin was level 20 when he started beating up Takesis. So I'm pretty sure a level 50 Eldritch Cleric would be like, you know what? I know you don't really like me around here, but what you gonna do about it? Paladin being Paladin. My level 37 Isekai Wild West Gunslinger. Wait, how did the Mormons get here? If you're gonna read the books, you wouldn't know about Teddy Tonks, about Winky, or you don't like Winky doesn't even pop up in the movie. She's a major aspect in the book, but they kind of cut her out for the movie. That Neville's parents are alive but insane at St. Mungo's. This is true. So yeah, Neville Longbottom's parents are insane because they were just because Bellatrix Lestrange actually does pop up in Goblet of Fire. Bellatrix Lestrange did the Crucio curse on them until they went insane. That Wormtail sacrificed his life to save Harry. You wouldn't know that either. In fact, I don't know that. They kind of foreshadow this in Prisoner of Azkaban. Like, really? There's a connection. There's going to be some payback. There's some good deed that comes from saving Wormtail because it doesn't happen in the movie. How nice Creature was after Harry gave him a Rab's locket. And see, that Dudley's last words to Harry were the story behind Half-Blood Prince. That who Peeves is and how important he was. Oh, yeah, I don't know who Peeves is. Much about Percy Weasley. Percy Weasley turns against his family. He sides with the Ministry of Magic over his own family. So, yeah, Percy is a traitor to the Weasleys to the point where he begins play this exiled from the Weasley family because he got in a fight with his dad and said horrible things to him. And see, fight back against gender neutral language with the most gender bending language possible. Female boss man, wife. Yeah, but yeah, these are way better. These are more human. Right? George Carlin talked about this. We're like, wait, in order to become more politically correct, we have these we take all the humanity and life out of words. Like doctor, how about medicine man? Presidude, mailman, yeah, the master, preacher man. That's kind of master. That's kind of where Mister comes from. It used to be called Master. Maybe like, like go Master Gamgee, Master Samwise, Master Frodo. Mr. comes from the word master, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. And 10 points for Tudor Longbottom because I hate Slytherin and I had to make Gryffindor win. Essentially what happens. And there's the meme. The guy coming in, walking on the fire. Let's see. Her, I bet it's thinking about other women. Snape, Severus Snape, Severus Snape. Let's see. And this is Akame got killed. This is a little weird. This is why I didn't really get into the show right away. It's like, okay, it's because really this brutal, like, berserk style world where everyone's corrupt and cruel and evil. Like his friends get tortured to death by some random I would say country girl, but no, she's a city girl. So it's really like this ruthless world. But then he gets like a Scooby-Doo gang of assassins. They're just like joking and just basically just random anime characters. Like this is really seeming to fit. It's really seeming to fit with the world they're trying to give me. And see. Like Freeman clicks all the way around. The only thing that doesn't click in Freeman are like, the regular guy, the some of the characters you get in the first class mage test that kind of seem too modern. And see, Himmel's Diary, fighting a tentacle, getting Freeman outside of a mimic fan fiction. That's enough. That's enough for the day. Boobs. Let's see. Ian Freeman likes boobs. And besides, only a game designed by Noids would have charisma as a fantasy power. That's true. As the character literature was talking about, yeah, this is the first one that dies. She gets a big pair of scissors. Let's see. Can you lock in? Yes. Mimic buddies. And say, let's see here. This is Himmel's drawing. It's the meme. That was Himmel the entire time. Let's see. Grim is now Light Yagami Shinigami. That I kind of want to talk. I actually have this saved. I was going to talk about it on Weeb Day. But that'd be kind of funny. Or bring it back around. But Hagrid, how am I to pay for all this? I haven't any money. Where's your money, Harry? Gringotts with the Wizard Bank. Now, quick, put these. That'd be hardcore. Could you imagine that being the case? Like he actually doesn't have any money, but they can get the money by heisting. That'd be pretty funny. Let's see. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's how I would do it. All right, Harry, we're gonna rob this bank. Let's see. Ron, I'm breaking up with you. Are you fucking serious? No, I'm fucking Severus. What? No. Severus, not serious. Let's see. If you want proof why you belong in Gryffindor, then I suggest you look more closely at this. Property of goblins I found. Please return to Gringotts Bank. Jack and Alley. Oh shit, there's only 4 lights. He's just blind. J.K. Rowling's Jewish-inspired race. J.R.R. Tolkien's Jewish-inspired. Yeah, the J.R.R. Tolkien made the Jews into dwarves. So J.K. Rowling made them goblins. And see, sorry I'm late. My new friends wanted to stop for food on the way here. He just brings a bunch of Dementors. That would be a Hagrid thing to do, right? He actually makes friends with all the Dementors and there's buddies now. That would shift the things, though. That would really shift the later books because the Dementors would side with Hagrid over Voldemort. Telling misunderstood creatures, Dementors. That'd totally be Hagrid. Yeah, that should have. In fact, that should have happened. It's a video. What's this? All I can think of is, this is how Handmaid's Tale started. It's absolutely insane. Awaken my masters. I used to be self-conscious about my height, but then I thought, fuck that, I'm Harry Potter. Usually how it goes. Like, there are things that can hide a man's height from a woman, right? Like being Harry Potter. Let's see, that's right, I'm hot. Anything else to say? Oh no. Finish up with Zuzu. So beautiful. I wish I could get these. I'm so happy for you too. Answer my phone, Zuko. No, you shut up, bitch. You leave Zuko in the comics. You shut up, you whore. Sees brothers and Marauders map sleeping with a man named Peter every night. It doesn't bring it up. It's not good brothers they are. Yeah, they just assume Ron is sleeping with a dude named Peter Pettigrew every night. whether he's at Hogwarts or at home. Makes no judgment. Uh-oh. I don't think father is going to approve of our baby. And see, we're dealing with devil worshippers, goblins. It says your attraction to toxic women started when you chose Azula over Ty Lee. So in theory, you could bend your own breast. That's definitely something someone argued, right? That's definitely something someone came up with. You know what's wrong with it? It's a fix it wrong. What? Ford. It's a Ford. Fix it again, Tony. Let's see. I installed shock absorbing dampers to reduce the risk of a catastrophic butt failure. So you, sir, have defaced a national treasure. I demand you restore my buttocks to their former glory. All right, but your butt could blow up at any time. I just hope you're not mooning someone when you care about. Cheers, Grandma. Let's see. There's a real huntress, all right? Just a real huntress. So like, at what point is the government getting involved to close down this fucking Discord server? React with if circumcised, with umbrella is uncircumcised. What is this? And see, Trump put a statue of Christopher Columbus near the White House. Tony comes. What? Taiwanese parliament member reportedly stole a bill and ran away with it to stop from being passed. I guess that would happen, right? New political strategy just dropped. This is run away with the bill. The tiny little hands on their nubs. Let's see. Breaking. What smoke in Tel Aviv indicates that Israel has chosen a new OnlyFans CEO? Because the ritual guy died at age 40 or something like that. Tylee in Avatar's beach episode lives were changed. I would think so, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Because even all the boys in the show were like fawning over her. And that's why Azula gets jealous, because all the boys are just mobbing Tylee. Birds of Prey versus Sonic is the internet fight no one asked for. Yeah, I don't think anyone thought that would be a fight. Right? And let's see. God, my brilliance is now becoming a bit of a burden. Get back to me. And the gray blobs. Band wands. Yeah, that's knuckle wand. The bayonet, the mage bayonet, the nail wands. Like this prison wands, like this is what they would have in Azkaban, right? If they allowed them to do whatever instead of torturing them all day. Butterfly wand, sawed off short wand. This is the spells has come out like a lot quicker. Easily, you can hide them easily. And it's a chair is a chair. Due to a clerical error, I was citing 2 government girlfriends. Bum bum bum. Oh yeah, this is the one where there's a Lin Cara shows up and they kind of take his coat, and then the subject critic is in there. All right, chat. We're going to close the stream for today. Thanks for everyone joining me today. Thank Best Chat for always being Best Chat. Have a wonderful rest of your day. So again, of course, next time.
On a cold winter morning in the time before the light, in flames of death's eternal reign, we ride towards the fight. When the darkness has fallen